All right, beautiful souls, high vibrations to you all. Tonight we are here under this good full moon energy, right? We'll be discussing the energy of Leo, and the power of our inner courage and willpower and all things Leo. You know, when you're dealing with this energy of this is not the first full moon in Leo, won't be the last, right? But when you deal with the moon and the full moon alone, um, it influences or enhances whatever your qualities already are connected to that moon's energy. All right. So if somebody like to be loud and somebody like to be dramatic, they're gonna be extra dramatic and extra loud during the full moon. All right. So I know we got some Leo moons in the building. So if you're feeling a little extra dramatic, goddamn it, that here's why. You know what I'm saying? So, it just depends on where you are in your physiological and your emotional state because the moon deals with the waters of the earth, of course, so like a satellite. So since it reflects so much, and dealing with the tides of the oceans and all that good stuff in your body, 72% water, the moon's effect on us is so heavy. And once again, like I always say, without the cycles of the moon and the menstrual cycles of the woman, we would not know life on this planet. All right. So I love to make sure that we understand that because we all came from the waters and the waters had to break in order for you to be here. That is a Yamaya type energy. All right. So just to give you some Orisha, all these different aspects to where we can equate to the water energy, the goddesses of the water. We've been talking about this theme of water. If you've been following me, if you've been in these workshops, I've been talking about this theme of water for about the past year and a half or so, right? So we've been understanding that we're dealing with intelligence, we're dealing with the feminine principle, and we're dealing with nurturing, all right? So we're dealing with an aspect of returning back to a sense of memory. All right. And whenever you deal with the Leo energy, this is going to be the inner child reflected upon us because of the marriage of the full moon. All right. Leo rules the inner child. Leo rules the matters of the heart. Leo rules the matters of what we must will. And, the mantras or the words or the key words for Leo is I will and I can. You can't tell a Leo they can't. If you tell Leo they won't, they will. All right. So one thing you can't do is double dare a Leo or some shit, right? So when you understand that Leos are about taking center stage. People like to say they loud or whatever the case may be, proud, but these people, they have a lot of courage. And they're not afraid to do what you are not what you can be afraid to do, right? Taking center stage, right? Not of being afraid with everybody eyes being on you, knowing that everybody's watching you. Well, since they watching, let's give them a show. That's Leo, right? So when you understand that there's a difference between friends and fans, and this whole aspect of you following the crowd, and what we did with superstars and celebrities, right? Because the sun is basically a star. The sun is also a cathode, all right, which that means that it gives off energy, which is going to be an electric charge. All right, so cathode is where the cat people come from. This is why you see the Black Panthers walking out of the sun in like movies like the Avengers and things like that. All right, so when you deal with the aspects of knowing your inner chi, all right, just another word for your solar power, right? Knowing your inner willpower, knowing how to will yourself into certain things. Now, in this construct that we live in the United States of America, we don't wield ourselves to a lot of things throughout our life. It's why a lot of us start doing grown up stuff before we was even old enough to be an adult, right? A lot of us grew up fast. A lot of us didn't get a chance to enjoy our childhoods, right? Leo rules parenting. It also rules how you were parented, all right? So that's why people with strong Leo placements have a strong tie to their parents. All right, ask anybody in here with a Leo placement. They'll tell you that they have a strong tie to their parents. All right, and there's a lot of times with the Leo moon, it's going to be with the mother. All right, so this is a proud mom. You know what I mean? So when you understand the power of Leo and the power of your essence and the power of who you are and how you can access the inner will of you. Leo is the fifth house in astrology. All right. We'll talk about a lot of that tonight. All right. I just wanted to kind of lay the foundation of what we're dealing with and also some of the other placements that are going on in the cosmos are going to influence this aspect of our emotions, right? So we got the North Node in Pisces. That is the most heavily emotional sign that you can even think of. If anybody is Pisces in the building, they'll tell you that, right? Being empathetic, being in tune with your spiritual side, all these different things could be at play. Now, with this being in the North Node, it's going to be the aspects of where we're going. All right. Now, this is going to deal with this Western construct of astrology, which is heavily going to influence how we put in the work and how we go out here and materialize what it is we want to manifest. All right. And the so called law of manifestation. And when you truly understand that the law of manifestation is missing a lot of hidden gems, right? Because you have to become what you're looking for. And when you're talking about manifestation, I'm going to tell you right now, don't nobody get upset. I might bust a little bubbles, but hey, this is Leo energy. I really want you to be honest with your goddamn self, okay? We're not manifesting anything. I want you to really understand what I'm telling you. You're co-creating with nature. Everything you want already exists. Does it not? Does money not already exist? Does a building or a place that you want to do your business, does it not already exist? Does the people you want to support your business, or how many people is it in this world? You're not, all you have to do is co-create. In the aspect of dealing with the birth chart, this is how you co-create. Okay. The aspect of your co-creating nature or your blueprint, right, to co-create with nature can be found in your birth chart, can be found in your cartology spread. It can be found in your numerology. It can be found in tools of divination, okay? So it's all about who's giving you the tools, though, all right? Because, when you're talking about the tools, it's supposed to make the job easier, all right? So that's what I aim to do with these workshops. That's what I aim to do with what I do. Is one of the main reasons why I am who I am today. As all of y'all may know, but I'm gonna let you know tonight, just because some of y'all may not be familiar with who I am or what I do. Maybe the first time you kind of join one of my workshops. But what got me to this place, because we're in a cycle of a 7-year cycle right now. All right. And I really want you to look back on the past 7 years of your life. Okay. So when I look back on my life, my mother transitioned. This was 2 days ago on February 10th, 15 years ago. That's when my journey started. All right. So it was the loss of the feminine principle in my life that led me to this energy, right? That led me to this place of spiritual realization and spirituality and all this unknown realm and all that good stuff. I began to learn about my birth chart. I began to tap into Reiki. I got a Reiki session, all this good stuff, right? So when I began to understand different parts of myself that I didn't know, the unexplored parts, when you begin to turn this journey inward, it can be very challenging, right? I lost every part of myself. Everybody that I was connected to thought I went crazy, right? I thought I went goddamn crazy. I went crazy. Fuck it. I'm just, I might as well just go on and see it, right? I lost my mind, but I found my heart. So Leo, my Jupiter is in Leo, and it's in the Scorpionic house. So this is giving you an aspect of our transformation. All right. So, the aspects of what pushed me there was death, right? And there was the death of somebody very close to me, which was my mother. So I began to seek something. So, when you're talking about putting in this work and all the hours I've done in the radio shows and the interviews and the speaking engagements, I've done over 4,000 readings at this point in my life. All right. This is the most fulfilling I've ever been. This is the most fulfilled I've ever been in my life. So when I come from this perspective, I come from a place of embodiment of with the shit that I talk about. All right. I'm not just out here regurgitating something. And that's why this is not a lot of things what I do is not for show. So I know that everything that we do in this life, when we understand that people are watching us, right, you have to move with a certain level of integrity. And when people begin to trust me with their spiritual journey and they begin to entrust me with a part of not knowing themselves, it's a very fragile place for people to be. So I just wanted to let you all know that I put a lot of care, I put a lot of love into what I do. I've literally devoted my life to this. All right. Everything else that I've tried, I'm telling you. You think I don't know all this divine stuff, and people be like, how you ain't making the universal laws work till? Let me tell you something. I done everything in my power to try to manipulate these energies. I gamble, okay? My Jupiter's in Leo. I'm a good gambler. Trust me, I can gamble real good. I know some numbers. Come on, I'm a numerologist, right? I done tried it all. So I'm telling y'all that, I'm human. You get what I'm saying? But when you talk about the power of transformation and honoring all these parts of yourself, it is only knowing my lower nature, which you will see that Leo represents a lot of that, to where you will know how to overcome that, which we'll talk about tonight, dealing with the head of the Leo, the head of the Sphinx dealing with Virgo, and the body dealing with Leo. All right. So we're gonna take a deep dive tonight in Leo. I just wanted to let you all know that, you dealing with somebody that really puts his heart into this. That's why I want people to get this. But tonight I did a challenge, right? And I felt this. And for those of you who did, reach out, I appreciate and I applaud you, because it can be very hard to speak up for what you want. I learned that in this life because I had to learn how to receive. So I don't just do this for money. Like I said, this is my job. Like, this is what I do for work. Everybody wake up might clock in somewhere else. When I wake up and clock in, it's on my phone. Somebody out there need me. I hate. So this is what I do for a living. This is my life's work. This is what I'm devoted to. I love to say this is not what I do, it's who I am. All right. So I just wanted to see the people who really want to receive this. All right, because I have a lot of people sign up, and when you're dealing with life changing information, I want you to want it as much as I want to give it to you. All right. So I want these words to meet you in your heart. I want you to let whatever resonates with you, let it sit with you. All right. Hopefully it'll bring you the clarity that you can be looking for right now. Okay. So with that being said, I'm about to start sharing my screen and go into this book. All right. How you doing? Peace, peace, peace. Who was that there?
I had to hang up the other one, my bad.
Oh, hey, you all right, goddess? What's up, Queen? All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bet. All right. Now, tonight we're gonna be discussing this full moon Leo energy. All right. Now, when you're dealing with this, of course, this is called a snow moon. Okay. So this Leo full moon tonight, it was illuminated earlier, this evening or well before. It was around 8, 9 o'clock Eastern time. All right. Now, when you're dealing with this breakdown of this energy, the full snow moon reaches its peak at the bold, radiant sign of Leo, illuminating the sky with fiery intensity. The full moon in Leo heighten emotions, magnifying self-awareness, and push both individuals and humanity into greater confidence, clarity, and self-expression. The astrological context and the aspects of the Leo full moon. A full moon occurs when the sun and moon are in direct opposition, bringing the light underlying tensions and creating push and pull dynamic between two zodiac signs. In this case, the moon in Leo, emotional fulfillment, personal identity, self-expression. The sun in Aquarius, collective consciousness, innovation, detachment. This opposition highlights the battle between self, Leo, and the collective Aquarius, a time when we must be balancing our personal desires with the greater good. This presence of Uranus and Taurus squaring the full moon further intensifies the energy, introducing unpredictability, breakthroughs, and the need for change. Now, when you're dealing with this energy of an opposition in astrology, for those of you who may not be aware of what this means, something is in opposition. It means it's at 180 degrees apart. All right. Anything that's 180 degrees apart or within 188 degrees apart, or sometimes up to 193 degrees, can be considered an opposition in astrology. So anytime you deal with a full moon, the signs will always be in opposition. Meaning the sun will be in one aspect, and whatever the moon is, that is in the opposite aspect. And when you deal with the astrological wheel, which you have 12 houses in the zodiac, this can equate to the fifth house being ruled by Leo and the 11th house being ruled by the energy of Aquarius. All right. And what you see there as a T square, a Uranus squaring, that square energy is dealing with a 90-degree angle. A square in astrology is it's like a challenge that you have to go through, but once you get through it, it can bring a lot of breakthroughs for you in your life. All right. So I'll break down what that square means. Now, the spiritual influence of this Leo full moon, confidence and self-expression. The Leo full moon represents the illumination of self-worth and personal power. This full moon will act as a mirror, reflecting back to our strengths, talents, and potential. It encourages bold self-expression and creative awareness, pushing individuals to step into the spotlight, embracing their uniqueness. That was putting Leo and that was putting Leo and Aquarius together, embracing the spotlight, right? And embracing your uniqueness at the same damn time. That is Aquarius and Leo. Now, This illumination would challenge people to release self-doubt and fear of judgment. All right. It's one of the main things where I ask people, if you wanted to join this workshop, inbox me. Speak up for what you want, right? Because sometimes we doubt ourselves. And when you're dealing with the cosmos, it don't operate. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, it will operate more with your self-doubts than it will what you think is there might be some false sense of confidence. All right. Meaning you have a lot of thoughts, but you don't follow through with it. All right. So it's going to influence confidence and self-expression. Leo being ruled by the sun represents the illumination of self-worth and personal power. The full moon being acting as this mirror is going to give us a lot of dealing with that letting go and embracing their authenticity, your authenticity, and your voice and your talents. This is going to align with the inner purpose and the soul mission, all right? Because you here for something. There's something in your body. Everybody, some people say, now, our main purpose is to live. Don't get it twisted. Your main purpose is just to live your life. But within that, it can feel like you're here to do something. It can feel like you're doing something that it's not being fulfilled. This can be the matters of the heart. But no, when the heart is clouded, when the heart is filled with all of these thoughts and what you must have and what you got to do and what you got to accumulate, we can live through an accumulation. All right. This can be very detrimental to the matters of the heart, because when you deal with the inner child, right, what that part of you that was bold and expressive, just look at a child, and then what happens with our joy? Somebody comes along and robs us for it, right? And then we spend the rest of our life trying to get it back. So this is when you align with your inner purpose and what you came here to do. And this is a heart-centered awakening and a love expansion. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Expanding your love. People want to cut the cords, cut the cords, cut the cords. I deal in cord cutting. Okay, so I'm gonna just answer to the contradiction. Okay, I deal in cord cutting, but I'm gonna tell you something. I always tell people, anybody in here that's done a cord cutting with me, this is not about cutting those people off. It's about expanding the cords of your love. I always flip it on them the moment they reach out to me for a cord cutting. Cause anything that you love, you're gonna love it forever. Right? This is the power of love. Once your emotions are sweet on something, you becoming bitter on it becomes your choice to view it that way. The only reason you're gonna hate anything or have any type of disdain towards anything is because you had some type of love or some type of expectation. There was something there that pulled on your goddamn heart. All right. So Leo is the sign of the heart, both physically and spiritually. The full moon will activate the heart chakra, encouraging compassion, generosity, and emotional courage. These these are those who have been closed off emotionally may find themselves confronting deep-seated fears of vulnerability, feeling a stronger connection to love and joy, experiencing healing in relationships through authenticity. This is an excellent time for forgiveness, reconciliation, and deep emotional breakthroughs. Forgiveness leads to acceptance. Once you once you forgive, because forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. Forgiveness helps you stop sipping on pars and hoping another motherfucker die. See? So when you talk about the power of forgiveness, it's something you gotta find and give to yourself first. Then you can extend acceptance to the other person. Because once you accept somebody for who they are, not who you want them to be, it just changes everything about the situation. All right. So this is not excusing somebody. Because unconditional love is not unconditional tolerance. Okay. So when you're talking about a feeling strong connection to these energies and expanding healing and relationship through authenticity, and being able to forgive and accept and acknowledge, these things can be very releasing to the heart. All right. Now, clarity, purpose, and soul direction. The energy of clarity will be profound under this full moon. Leo shines a light on our soul's true desires, revealing what we have been hiding or playing small. What we truly want to pursue in life, which relationships, careers, and paths align with our higher self. For those seeking purpose or direction, expect powerful realizations and sudden epiphanies. Mundane influence of Leo full moon. The global influence of the leadership and power structures it's going to be affected by this. We watching this go on right now. Now, what this is going to do is going to propel us up into the time of May, even up into the time of August when we get into Leo season. So understand that no full moon is separate from no other full moon is separate from each other. All right, it's like everything is like being logged into the memory bank. So when you look back at cycles, this is what astrology does. This is what any type of tools or divination does. When you look back at cycles, you can look at the influence of these things, and now you look at how we're playing these energies out at the time that we're in. Because when you add other things into the equation, right, it's like a whole mathematical equation. And you add all these things up, and it all begins to make sense. All right. So I'm gonna add some of the things up tonight. I don't want to get too complex to throw y'all off. And I really want to touch on another aspect too that's going to be at play, which I didn't really put out for her tonight because I didn't want to confuse anybody. But I must speak on this, knowing what I know, and I have to deal in what I know is all truths are relevant. All right. When you deal with an aspect of what we know is called Vedic astrology, even if you were to use a stargazing app, which I might go ahead and do tonight. Matter of fact, I think I did this in the last workshop. Let me do this real quick for y'all. I want to show y'all something, all right? Now, within the stargazing app that I use, it's going to show me where the planets are in the sky. I want to show you where the moon is, all right? Here's the moon right here, right? Now, look at this right here, all right? What constellation is that? Leo, right? Now, I'm going to tell you something. When you're dealing with the aspect of what we know as Vedic astrology and the astrological aspects of tropical, there comes a time when certain energies are in alignment. All right. Now, we may move on until the next full moon, and that full moon will say that we're going to be in what? What's the next sign that we're moving into, which would be Pisces. So the next full moon would be in Virgo. All right. So when we're dealing with this full moon energy, and the next full moon, if we look up in the sky, may be in a constellation, right? Back into a Leo energy. Now, this is like how in tropical astrology we've been kind of tricked. So a lot of times what we look at in the cosmos or what we look at in the sky, or even what they tell us is going on, is not what's really going on in the sky. So I just want to show you that this full moon energy is in alignment. All right. Because normally they would have us push back into a sign, and this is how they speed us up. But in certain times, when you're dealing with the energy of February, right? February is a moon month. February is a month of 28 days. So the moon is in alignment in the month of February. February can be a very magical month. That's why so much love is in the earth. All right. So I want to show y'all that alignment for some people who might have felt like the moon wasn't in Leo tonight. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. All right. So when you're dealing with these influences of clarity and purpose,
So
and when you're
today,
dealing with,
in math class, we had on seats, right?
okay, somebody else coming in.
And
Mike is hot, whoever
supposedly,
that is. Now, when you're dealing with the aspects of the mundane influences of Leo, the full moon, the global influence of these power structures and all that, right? Politics and political shifts and leaderships, right? This is also going to be, this is going to be a lot of disruptions in leadership. I mean, look at what Trump is doing. I mean, you just pay attention to what the government got going on. It's all disrupted. It's all chaos over there, right? The scandals or realizations, right, of regarding public figures is going to come out right now. This is going to be a rise of individual voices speaking out against oppression. We watching all this go on as well. Now, you're going to watch this amplify after this full moon. This full moon is going to amplify. It's going to turn it up. So if you somebody that got some stuff you want to say, then it's time to say it. Say it with your chest. All right. So expect bold declarations and sudden changes in authority as the collective move towards greater sovereignty and self-improvement. This is a time of sovereignty. Why you think the symbolism of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl? Now I ain't gonna say it was planned or no, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, I believe everything is scripted. Now the NFL is entertainment, so don't get it twisted. I said the Eagles are gonna win before they won. So it's kind of like them ruling with the pen in Pennsylvania is the original capital, and how if you really understand symbolism and how we're dealing with the eagle rising and the eagle dealing with spirituality and dealing with individuality, and how the eagle is such a keen hunter and how the eagle is used in so many spiritual contexts in this reality, and the eagle defeating the chief, and the chief representing structure and government, right? Right. So all these different things about where we at in humanity can be found in a lot of symbology if you look around you. All right. So we're all moving into a time of sovereignty. And of course, self improvement has always been a goal when you talk about self love and self healing. Now, the cultural and the creative influence, Leo governs art, entertainment, and self expression. During this time, All right, we may witness a surge in creative movements, music, self-expression. All right, we may see a rise in new artistic trends taking over mainstream culture. We just watched this go on, Kendrick Lamar, regardless of what everybody's saying. I mean, the man just can't. He got the world. And shit, they now saying he did more numbers than Michael Jackson at the halftime show. So this is people feeling more called to embrace their personal style, beauty, and charisma. This is an excellent time for performers, artists, and creators to launch new projects and share their gifts and step into the spotlight. So any creators, any artists, it's a good time. All right, step into your light. Do what you got to do. Do what you're here to do. All right, get in now. Now, the individual influence and how it could affect you. This is going to be depending where Leo falls in your chart. All right. So this full moon will highlight a specific area in your life. This is going to be dealing with a lot of your house placements. Now you can look at these house placements, of course. Now this is for you to look over. I won't read through all of this because we'll be here for another hour if I read through every last one of these aspects. But you all have this booklet to look over, and you want to look at your natal chart. All right, you can even do that now as I'm talking if you want to, so you can start trying to marry some of this energy, and as I'm speaking, some more things may resonate with you. So look at what Leo is in your birth chart. What is in your fifth house? Do you have any Leo placements? If you feel like you don't have any Leo placements, meaning that you don't have anything in your fifth house or whatever the case may be, remember the sun rules Leo. So your sun is going to be heavily influenced by your Leo principle, by your Leo sign. All right. And you can also, if you understand degrees in your birth chart, you can look at your Leo degrees. All right. Which Leo degrees will be 5, 17, and 29. All right. So once again, 5, 17, and 29 would be Leo degrees. Okay. Now this could be different, dealing with deacons, but I'm just gave you a simple math to understand if you have a 5 degree, a 17th degree, or a 29th degree in your birth chart. Those are Leo degrees. Okay. So when you look at the 29th degree, it's always critical. That's why people with 29 degrees can be very anxious and they can deal with matters of the heart. All right. And you can always be feeling a nervous energy upon you when you have a 29 degree somewhere in your chart. So look at where your Leo is. Where is it falling in your birth chart? What house is it in? And of course, I have a breakdown for the signs as well. All right. Now, you want to ask yourself, how am I playing small in my life? What creative pursuits have I neglected? How can I boldly express myself without fear? Now, this is a kind of a way for you to do your own self-guided meditation, a heart-centered meditation. Work on the heart chakra, healing, opening yourself up to love and emotional clarity. All right, creative expression. This is going to be a powerful time for artist endeavors. Paint, dance, sing, express yourself authentically. Now, when you're dealing with expressing yourself, the full moon is all about movement of the body and expressing yourself. So you dealing with Leo, cut some music on, do some karaoke. You understand me? The full moon's energy will be present for 3 days before and 3 days after. So you got all the way up until at least Friday, Saturday. So take this full moon energy with you, ride this wave, all right? Get out there, have some fun. This is why I was going to do a guided meditation, but I want y'all to feel energetic. I want you to feel this moon. Now, if you know to sit with it and drink some water and do all that good stuff, let your body speak to you. So don't let me hype you up. I don't want to put no keys in your back. I don't want to put no batteries on you. But hey, I mean, I'm here to do that. My Jupiter is in Leo. So if you feeling inspired, goddamn it, you get your ass up and move your body. You understand? So when you're dealing with this, my final thoughts on this were just going to be dealing with this is a catalyst more for self-expression and a heart-centered awakening. This lunation illuminates our deepest desires and it empowers us boldly to step into our authentic selves. By embracing this energy, we can find clarity, awaken, and creative potential and move forward with confidence in our personal, collective journeys. This is not just any full moon. It is a call to rise, shine, and embrace the power within. All right. Now you're gonna see I use confidence and clarity a lot throughout here. So, I wanted to drill that in y'all heads. I just want to let y'all know that right now. All right. Now, these are some of the aspects in astrology when you deal with the astrological aspects of Leo. All right. Now, before I move on, anybody got any questions about what's going on here or anything that I just read? All right. Now, when you're dealing with a Leo in astrology, right? Because now it takes on a different context when you got your own relationship with Leo. Okay. So I want you to understand your relationship with Leo. I can be speaking in a very general context, but when you understand the aspects of your birth chart, I really want you to understand your relationship with this Leo energy. Now, the role of Leo in the birth chart. A breakdown of Leo is ruled by the sun's radiant energy, self-expression, confidence, leadership, the drive to leave a legacy. Its placement in the birth chart highlights where a person seeks recognition and how they express creativity in their innate ability to lead and inspire others. All right, Leo attributes and the energy of fire and the element of fire and passion and this bold, orientated aspect of the self and how this modality of fixed fire is persistent, determined, focused on a long-term goals. All right. So Leo is a very determined, focused energy. All right. Once Leo set their eyes on the prize, they going in, baby. You know what I mean? So when you're dealing with the ruling planet being the sun, this is core identity, life force, purpose. Now, the house association, as I said earlier, is going to deal with the fifth house, creativity, joy, romance, children, all right? Symbolism, the lion, strength, pride, leadership. Leo's influence in the birth chart. Now, Leo in the houses, now, this is another breakdown of the houses for you, all right? Now, I want you to really pay attention to what's going on. As always, the theme is going to be something around you being bold or you getting out there and expressing yourself in these houses, all right? Now, when you're dealing with Leo connection to parenting and the parents, Leo has a strong association with parenting and the influence of the parental figures, particularly to the father for a dominant parent or for a dominant parental figure due to his rulership of the son. Leo as a parental influence, encouraging a proud parent. Leo parents are known for supporting their children, talents, and celebrating achievements and instilling confidence. They want their children to shine and often take pride in their success. They want them to be the leader of the family. They naturally take on the leadership roles in the household, just naturally. And they guide their children in warmth, but also with a firm approach. So a lot of these expectations of a Leo parent might have high expectations for their children, encourage them to excel in creative or leadership areas or leadership roles. Now, a lot of times, just because a lot of times people with Leo parents, your parents can live through you vicariously. All right. So the placement of Leo on the birth chart can indicate how an individual perceives their parents, particularly the father. Now, Leo in the fourth house may indicate a parent who was charismatic, dominant, or influential in shaping the parents in shaping your self-esteem. Leo in the tenth house can suggest your parent who was well known or authoritative or admired in a career or community. Leo moon individuals may have had nurturing parent who was warm but needed validation from their child. All right. So it just shows you the many aspects of how this energy could play out when you're dealing with the energy of the Leo, and how it can show up in your birth chart in relationship to your parents and how you were parenting and strongly with the father. All right. Now, when you're dealing with the spiritual and the mundane influence of Leo in the birth chart, spiritual influence of Leo. Leo carries the deep spiritual lessons related to authenticity, self-love, and divine radiance. The journey of self-realization. Leo's placement in the birth chart shows where a person is meant to embrace their true essence and shine without fear of judgment. It teaches the lesson of inner validation, learning to express oneself from the soul, not for external approval. Connection to divine creation. As Leo is linked to the sun, the source of life, it represents the individual power, create to create and manifest, and also to bring light into the world. The fifth house connection means Leo energy is strongly tied to creative expression, children, joyful experiences, and bringing people closer to their divine purpose. Lessons in humility and leadership. Leo must learn to lead with the heart rather than the ego. This sign embodies the courage, but also the generosity and the spirituality. It teaches that true leadership must serve others rather than seeking personal gain. Now, the mundane everyday influences of Leo can be around leadership roles. Leo naturally thrives in roles that require confidence and commanding presence. Whether in the workplaces or public speaking or artistic expression or whatever the case may be, creativity and performance, Many actors, musicians, and performers have strong Leo placements. Once again, all of them ain't Leos, but they can have strong Leo placements. All right. I don't want to get off into a lot of comparison of the actors and all that good stuff, but you can just look at a lot of actors. And now, if you are into astrology, go look off into actors with strong Leo placements. Some of y'all in here might already know some. All right. Now, when you're dealing with the aspects of creativity and performance and all this good stuff, and also the romantic energy and Leo placement in the chart influences how one experiences or expresses love and their need for admiration and their approach for relationships. I got Jupiter in Leo. I love the love. Right? Give me my flowers while I'm here. Yeah, tell somebody it was my work. Don't be trying to hide it, but every because it's in the eighth house. A lot of times I help a lot of people who don't want to tell nobody it was me. Hey, like, I don't want nobody to know I talked to you. Well, I already know you talk to people that talk about me. It's okay. So that's why I appreciate the people who love to say my name. I want my admiration. I'm gonna be real with you, okay? I'm gonna take it to my heart and not my head. That's the difference. I don't need it, but I want it. I ain't gonna lie. I can't lie to myself, all right? So you know how people is. You know how sometimes we can be like, no, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Same type of people who be going live while they feeding the homeless and say they don't want nobody to know. All right. You sure cut that camera on while you gave that food away. So I don't know. So when you honor the fact that, yeah, I wanted to show the world I fed the homeless, ain't nothing wrong with that. Be unapologetic about that. Because when you do it inauthentically, people pick up on that. I'm talking about for real. Think about how many times you watch somebody do something and they film it and you don't feel bad because they filmed it or even question that they put caught it on camera. You know it was an authentic expression that they just want to catch something on camera versus somebody that's putting on an act. That's Leo energy. You can see it all day. All right. So this is why those performances, actors and actresses, and that's why I say it's time to become your own act and not an actor. All right. So how you fully integrate this individual, this energy of this, because even with the admiration and approach and the pride of individuals in Leo, taking great pride in your reputation will go to great lengths, right, and protect their image and their integrity. So a lot of times, picking a fight. Leo love drama. Leo can be very dramatic. You know what I'm saying? But one thing what Leo won't do is let you play with something that they for real about, that they love. All right, especially when it comes to something they don't put their work in or they heart into it. Yeah, them Leo people hurt you, man. You fuck with something about their heart. Them Leo people hurt you for real. All right, so remember, check your Leo. Okay, so find your authentic expression. This Leo teaches that your unique gifts are meant to be shared. Explore hobbies, artistic pursuits, and leadership roles that allow you to express yourself. Balance confidence with humility. Leo energy can sometimes crave recognition too much, leading to disappointment. Focus on leading from the heart rather than seeking approval. Even with a lot of times in love, I often figured out as a man, a lot of times I wasn't loving, I was craving, you know. So a lot of time craving experiences, it doesn't really allow you to be present for it. Your heart ain't really in it. And when your heart is fixed on too many things, you ain't gonna commit to nothing. I'm gonna say that one more time. When your heart is fixed on too many things, you ain't gonna commit to nothing. Cause all you gonna do is just be on to the next thing that your heart desires. So when you're not in control of that, that means your compulsions are. So this is why we got to deal with our animalistic instincts, because sex is an animalistic part of our nature. The only reason why we know sex, because you got to procreate. Everything you do with sex is your choice. And Mars and Leo energy, fire energy can be heavily linked to your sex drive. All right. So stepping into leadership now, but Leo energy can sometimes create this recognition and also focusing on leading from the heart rather than seeking approval. Now, heal the inner child because Leo rules the fifth house of childhood joy and importance to reconnect with the playfulness and the self-love, especially if you lack this early on in your life or if you lacked encouragement early on in your life. So if you step into leadership, whether in a career, family, or community, Leo is about embracing responsibility and guiding others with inspiration. Leo is the one gonna give you the motivational speech. Leo rules motivational speakers. All right. So Leo energy can be heavily tied to your ability to motivate a crowd. All right. So you can see this heavy energy, and that's why a lot of superstars they gotta be able to motivate a crowd. All right. Anytime you see somebody performing on stage and their ability to command the crowd, this is a Leo energy. All right. So when you're dealing with this is whether it's like being able to shine without fear. Okay. And that's when you gotta throw fear to the wind. And there's a lot of time when you're dealing with a Leo, they'll tell you, they just do it afraid, do it anyway. It embraced that my heart was beating. I was a little scared. I just did it anyway. That's the fire energy. Fire signs would do it anyway. Like Sagittarius, Aries, you know what I'm saying, Leo, they all would just do it anyway. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with not dimming your light for the comfort of others, Leo's role in the birth chart shows where you are meant to be seen, celebrated, and valued. So here are some of my final thoughts were Leo is one of the most powerful radiant forces in astrology, representing both divine and personal will to create and inspire to lead. Whether influencing one's parental experiences, career, love, or personal development, Leo brings a sense of purpose, confidence, and the courage to express oneself fully. By embracing the spiritual wisdom of Leo, balancing pride with humility, leadership with service, and creativity and authenticity, you unlock the highest potential of your personal sun, shining in alignment with your true purpose. All right. And I know today is also a what is it, a King of Diamonds Day in astrology? I mean cardology. Are you in here, Salita? Did you want to speak on that King of Diamonds energy today? If you're in the building and you feel like speaking, I know I just kind of called on you.
You really did. Oh my gosh. What was the question about? Okay, so the King of Diamonds being today, and that's the moon energy, right? I feel like if you know cardology, I would say look at the spread and you look at the life spread of the King of Diamonds, and we know that its cosmic moon card, which would be like its full moon card, is the Ace of Hearts. So like a lot of that, like putting yourself at like out there energy like that, but focusing on yourself, like Sensei was saying. It's a lot of like focusing on what you want, how you feel, and the things that you're passionate about.
Gratitude for that, Salita. Thank you. So that was for those of you into cardology. I just want to give you some card energy. You understand me? Other day, there's many ways we can break down this energy. All right, and here's another way we're going to tap in. Now, before I go into the mythology of this energy of Leo, anybody got any questions about what I just went over or anything you want to share? All right,
Hello, senseis.
peace.
How you doing? I just wanted to ask a question. How would you still apply it the same way if you're progressed? Because I have a progressed Venus and ascendant, and is at 5 degrees in Leo.
Oh yeah, you got to add that Leo energy. All these perspectives of Leo would damn near, yeah, they would be in the theme of your love life. You get what I'm saying? So remember, we marrying Leo now to your Venetian energy and how that's influencing your natal Venus. All right, and also what is going on in your Leo placements.
Well, natally, I don't have absolutely nothing there. It's just progressed now, and I'm looking at my chart, and I have literally the first house is 5 degrees in Leo, then the second house is 26 degrees in for Leo. I also have 5 degrees in my sixth, seventh. I have the 29 degree in my 11th and 5 degrees in my 12th house. So I guess they're all coming in with fire.
Oh, there's all your Leo. Now you know you got Leo in your chart. So you add that Leo aspect, right? Remember what we do with the degrees, right? So the degrees add that accent in the direction that they want that energy, that it wants to push you and influence you in those areas of the house and those placements. It wants you to use that Leo energy to yield that energy, right? So that's a lot of bold and courage and a lot of shit you do in parenting and even dealing with the most dominant parent in your life, which could be your father. All right. So there you go, beloved.
Thank you. And it's funny because my daughter got a kitten today and she decided to name it Leo. So, and she's a Leo.
And she's a Leo. Well, there
Yeah.
you go. So how's her connection with her father?
Oh my gosh. She's her
Uh,
dad's challenging karma card. He's a 5 of diamonds. She's a 9 of diamonds. That's my Mercury card. So
Oh yeah, there you go.
it's
Now
okay.
you,
Just take
now
it
you
all
see.
in.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Peace, Sensei.
Peace. What's up?
Ain't none, ain't none. I was looking to identify Leo in my chart, and I don't think I see any. I just sent you a screenshot of it. I was wondering if you could use it as an example.
Where you send it to?
Messages.
And where that? Where you send it on Instagram or something?
Nah. Where I made the donation.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay, wait until my
$43.
text. Hold up. All right, hold on. I got you. Stop the screen share real quick. All right, let me see here. Okay, boom. Send me a screenshot of your wheel. Yeah, I'll use your chart for example real quick.
And I'm sending it over now. Sent.
All right, give me a second, beautiful souls. I'm gonna show y'all his chart real quick. All right.
Chart look like it's all over the place. Still learning how to read it.
It's all right, I got you. I'm gonna do a little, we'll use a live lesson real quick. Now,
Appreciate
for some of y'all might not understand symbology. All right. Now, what y'all looking at here is his chart. This is Michael's chart, all right? Now, when you're dealing with the aspects of the birth chart, what you see here is 12 houses. This is a Placidus chart. So basically, his police placement deals with a 29-degree aspect and all that good stuff, okay? Now, when you breaking down what he's asking me about is his Leo energy. So what we got to look for is the symbol of Leo. Now, do you know the symbol of Leo?
No, I'm not too familiar with it.
All right, I got you. I just want to see. Now, right here, do you see that symbol right here at the top in the eighth house?
Yeah.
You see that
That
number 8, right?
the blue symbol or the
Yeah,
one right
okay.
beneath it?
Now, the
Okay.
blue symbol is your Chiron, okay? That red symbol is your Saturn.
Okay.
And this symbol up here is going to be what's called your South Node, all right? Now, what you see, that symbol, it look like a piece of sperm, okay? You see that? You
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah, I see it.
That's Leo, okay?
Okay.
So anytime, wherever you see that symbol in your chart, that would be your Leo placement. For those of you who don't know how to identify your Leo placement, look for that symbol inside of your birth chart. That would be
Is
your
that
Leo placement.
the
All
one
right?
right next to the 18?
Yeah, you talking about right? No, this one right here, right next to this. Not these two. The one right here at the top. This one.
At the U,
Can
it's
you
like
see
a
that?
U. All right, I got you. Between the 7 and the 8 or right above the 8?
Between the 7 and the 8. The
Got you.
one above the 8, though, that look like a set of headphones, right?
Yeah, upside down.
Upside down. That is the South Node.
Okay.
That
Got it.
represents your past life experiences and your comfort zones.
Okay. Appreciate
So
the breakdown.
now what that also means is since you have Leo here, all right, and you have the opposition, because now this will put your North Node, which means your soul, life, mission, and purpose, what you came here to move towards, what you're aiming more towards to become more of. Leo can be your comfort zone. So you can be very prideful. You can be out. Leo could be your whole shit. Everything I'm talking about Leo tonight, you could be very familiar with it. You could be like, shit, Leo, since they talking my language. All right. Now, with your North Node, which is called your soul, life, mission, and purpose, this is going to be here.
Okay.
That's going to be what's opposing your Leo, and you got to let go of the pride, all the other things with Leo, right? Not trying to always take center stage, but now thinking more about the collective because it wants you to become more of an Aquarian energy here. All right. So the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So this full moon is going to have an effect on your north and your south node. Okay.
Okay.
So if you've been going through anything financially, if you've been going through anything around the home, resources, right? Word shit just happening and shit. Now my bad, that placement up there was your Jupiter. My bad. This is your Saturn placement down here. All right. So Saturn for you, you got Saturn return to second house. You got Saturn and you got a retrograde going on here. So that could be a very deep placement for you. But that was to help you understand your Leo, my brother. And if you look at any other placements in your chart that read with the 5th, the 17th, or the 29th degree, which I don't see that you have any at all right, that would have been Leo placements. Now this also means that Leo rules over your entire 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio. So you go through Leo stuff in your relationships, shared resources, sexual experiences. All right. You got to be mindful of who you have sex with and who you get entangled with when your lovers. All right. You could be done got into a lot of toxic shit throughout your life with lovers.
Indeed. Appreciate the clarity.
Yes, sir. All right. Anybody else got any questions? All right.
I
Now,
put my questions in the chat.
hold on.
Um,
Who's it?
I asked you about how long the moon, how long it stays a good time for artists, and then how the full moon communicates with the next one.
Good question. Now, because when you're dealing with basically a full moon into another full moon is a complete cycle, right? Now, the cycles in between are like the gestations. So imagine a full moon is like a birthing or something, okay? So if you want to birth something, right? Or even now we're dealing with also a releasing, all right? So you release during the full moon. Something has, if you've been thinking about anything, let's just say you got a song as an artist or a painting or something on your heart that you've been wanting to do it under this full moon. It could have been a project that you haven't finished. It could have been something that you ain't even started, but it's on your heart that you want to do. You might want to sit down and write a poem. You might want to sit down. You might want to do a book, a children's book, anything where your creative energies have been sparked and you ain't been really feeling like, I don't know if it's the time to do it. This is the time for you to do it. If this is resonating with you right now on any level about doing something that you've been wanting to do for a while, do it. Because this full moon energy would be more accessible for you to be able to do that. And now, when you do it under this full moon, it's like, all right, I just birthed this baby. Now I gotta let it gestate. Now I gotta let it. Now I gotta let it percolate in the cosmic womb. So I put the baby out. I birth it, I nurture it, I put the promotion behind it, I do whatever I gotta do to, put it on platforms, drop it, do all the necessary stuff that you gotta do. Now you just let the baby just grow. All right. So a lot of time we get attached to what's happening. It's the same way with a child. This is why Leo rules parenting and creativity and birthing something. And now when you deal with the full moon, when you look at the next new moon, what do you need to let go of now that you birthed it? So you can use this next 2 weeks, which I'll be having another workshop in the next 2 weeks when the new moon is in Aquarius. And then after that, as we ingress into a new sign, because we're going to move out of Aquarius into Pisces, and that will put the next full moon in Virgo. So that would be now it's time to dot the I's and cross the T's, right? Virgo gonna be dealing with routines and the details of the situation, right? Making sure I got everything in order, all the paperwork straight, everything that's supposed to be there, right? So now when you look at this, this has become a part of your routine, and you get ahead of the paperwork and all that. Now, guess what's gonna happen when you get into Virgo? Somebody's gonna want it as a service. It's gonna become a product. Virgo is still products and services. So that's why the 5th house goes right into the 6th house. You create it, Virgo, let's make it happen and sell it. Let's make it a service. Let's make it a product, you know? And then Libra brings the money from it. And then Scorpio brings the shared resources and experiences of more money deals, people wanting to invest. And then Sagittarius brings the opportunities to travel because you created this thing. And then Capricorn saying, now what am I going to build since this thing is bringing me a little bit of income or a little bit of freedom? What am I going to build with it so I can invest in it now? Now I can make my small business into a bigger business. It can grow. Now I move into Aquarius. How can I provide something to humanity? Then I move into Pisces. Now I got to let it all be done, and now I got to dream again. See, we can't stop dreaming. See, a lot of time we work so hard on birthing something that we don't know when to let it go. Unconditional love. If you love something enough, let it go. And that's why a lot of time we find ourselves putting too much time, blood, sweat, tears into something, and it blocks our creativity because something has become such a daily routine. Hence why Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. Okay. So I'm just speaking to the North Node and energies that are present right now. That was a good question though, brother. I hope that helped you out.
Of course it did. Thank you. Thank you for the thorough answer.
Yes, sir.
Can that
Anybody else?
also apply to making a purchase? When
Yeah,
you say
like
like if you've been wanting to do something, if it's not directly like writing a poem or doing a song, can it apply to making a purchase?
an investment.
Yeah.
Yes, because Leo deals with investments. Leo deals with gambling. So if you've done your research, right, and you want to say, it's still something that I ain't never done before, but I feel like it's time for me to take this leap and invest off in this venture, make the investment. Trust that everything is going to happen. Now you got to give it time. So right now, what you deal with the compulsions of Leo, don't make some shit that where you think is going to be a get rich quick scheme. You might fuck around and make the wrong choice. Make a long-term investment. Let it gestate, right? Let it go off into that fruition. See how long it's gonna take, right? What's gonna be the ROI with this? What is the return on your investment? How long will it take when on what you invest? If it's something that you're not sure of, don't invest a large amount, right? Still take a chance, but you don't have to take a big chance. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful, be wise, but still take the chance. That makes sense?
Yeah, thank you.
And then look at where your Leo is, and that'll tell you what context you taking that chance in when you bring it to context that it deals with taking chance in finances and also investing into crypto and all that kind of shit. Because Leo still deals with how we take our, I would say, what we like, what we desire, and how we use it and how we will it into fruition. Anybody else? All right. Now, when you deal with Leo in mythology, I just want to break down some mythology of Leo so we can understand it in a deeper context when you understand how you can see this Leo energy playing out in a lot of aspects of deities that we deal with in this construct of what we know as the United States of America. Now, the mythology of Leo, the deities associated with it, Leo is ruled by the sun. Now, for all of you who might hear deity and think about some evil, I know I might have some religious, some Christian people in here, which I welcome you all, all right? I just want you to understand any deity is something that you use as a tool. All right, Jesus is a deity. You calling on your grandmama, your ancestors become deities. All right, it's like you are a living deity, cause ain't nothing gonna happen unless it's through you. I don't care what you, cause you got to pray to something. You got to ask for something in order for something to happen for you. So even if you dealing with prayer and dealing with that type of energy, or if you're dealing with the spiritual context and you're into, calling on your ancestors or manifesting and all that good stuff, either way it go, ain't nothing gonna happen unless you make it happen. Regardless of whatever you might think it might be, you might give it away to another power, whatever the case may be, but nothing's gonna happen without your willingness and without your heart truly being in it. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's why I tell people there's a strong difference between somebody who believes and somebody who act like they know. This is gonna be dealing with the aspects of Aquarius, cause you might know it, but it might not be in your heart. So let's just say you know all this stuff about conjuring and manifestation, but it ain't in your heart. It's in your head. Now you run across somebody of strong faith and you can't tell them nothing about their Lord Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. You can't tell these folks nothing about themselves. What you think gonna happen when they pray to Jesus for a car and you do a spell during the full moon? Which who you think gonna get the car faster? Cause they gonna pray and give it away. You gonna do the spell and be looking for it. Man, I went to the dealership. I was like, the spell working. You know what I'm saying? Like them people gonna pray, they gonna give it away and be like, it just came out of nowhere. I know my God is good. I'm just telling you how the power of energy works. It don't matter about who you think is yielding it, okay? So don't be thinking because you know more than somebody else and they Christian and you spiritual or whatever the case may be that you can manifest faster than them. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's way more harder to manifest on this level than it is when you don't know this shit. I'm gonna be real with you. Cause this is why knowing can fuck a lot of people up. Cause it takes away from the faith. I'm speaking Pisces to y'all right now. All right, I'm speaking heart, cause your heart has to be devoted to something, and a lot of times your heart feels shit that ain't there. Your mind wants tangible shit. Say that one more time. Your mind wants something tangible. Your heart feel it before it's there. This is the power of manifestation. You feel it before it happens. You feel the new car. You feel the new house. You dream about it. You taste it. You can smell the new scent of the car. You get in your car right now and be like, damn, it smell like a new car in here. Your heart is starting to resonate. So we can tap into this field of receptivity, right? Because our heart desires what the fuck it desires. So that's why, and a lot of times you hear in the spiritual community or spirituality, they say you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So just be very mindful of that because I watch a lot of people who transfer over to the spiritual realm and they wonder why it's so hard for them to manifest because you know better now. You don't equated all this energy to knowing that Jesus is a manifestation of your heart and all this good stuff. And you start thinking about all this and you start questioning certain things. And a lot of times we lose our faith in something greater than our own understanding. Because you don't know every goddamn thing. And there's a lot of shit spiritual that just can't be defined. So somebody who's strong of faith can damn near manifest something way faster than somebody who done learned a bunch of goddamn knowledge or something. So remember the polarity that we're dealing with the matters of the heart and the matters of the mind with Leo and Aquarius. All right. And that coherence. Okay. So the mythology of this and these deities and the aspects of associating with cultures and mythological narratives, it's dealing with the celestial energy, and the Greek mythology kind of deals with Nemean, and this is the lion. The Greek mythology is linked to the Nemean, the lion, the monstrous beast with an impenetrable hide that could not be killed by mortal weapons. According to the myth, the lion terrorized the region of Nemea until Hercules, right? Hercules, where Hercules comes from, okay? Hercules was asked with slaying the giant as a part of his 12 labors. Unable to pierce the skin with the arrows of the sword, Hercules ultimately strangled the lion with his bare hands, later used its own claws and skin. He then wore it as hide and as a cloak, symbolizing invisibility and divine protection. This myth reflects the essence of Leo: strength, resilience, and ability to rise above challenges through personal power. It highlights Leo's connection to pride and nobility, and the willingness to face difficult battles head on. The Roman mythology deals with the soul. Now I'm gonna tell you, when you look at Hercules, though, right? You gotta think about Hercules, right? He had to power up a lot. And when you're dealing with him being the son of Zeus, right? The son of the sun. Told you Leo is ruled by the sun, so you see it even in mythology, okay? Zeus was his father, and he was half mortal, right? Because he came down and had sex with a woman, right? The seed of life, semen. Now you see why the energy of Leo looks like a sperm, right? This is what the Greeks got real fancy with this when they started learning this type of knowledge, right? Out of Kemet. And you know where they got it from, okay? So when you understand the energy of resilience and this myth of the Leo, the lion representing all of that energy, that's why a lot of the challenges, that come with this, it can be very indicative of the matters of you facing things with a lot of courage. Now, the soul invictus is dealing with the unconquered sun. You may have heard this terminology before, and I think I did a workshop, and I know I did a workshop, and we talked about the soul invictus. But in Roman mythology, Leo is associated with the soul invictus, the unconquered sun god, who represents the eternal and divine light. Sol Invictus was worship and the source of life, truth, and sovereignty, qualities deeply embedded in the Leo archetype. In Kemet, right, the Kemetic, ancient Egyptian astrology and Leo, and ancient Kemet, this was dealing with the aspect of Leo is closely associated with the lion-headed goddess of Sekhmet, who embodies destruction of healing. She represents the fierce power of the sun, who is known as the Eye of Ra, warrior goddess sent to cleanse the world of chaos and impurity. See, Sekhmet is the daughter of the sun. She's a daughter of Ra, right? Now, this is like dealing with an aspect of dealing with our cells and our biology as well. I'm gonna get into that as well. Now, when you're dealing with this energy of segment, now I often say when we call on or we look at the powers of when we look at the movie Black Panther and how you saw Angela Bassett when T'Chaka was going under the underground, he was dying. And she said, I call on Sekhmet. I call on Basit. I told y'all Black Panthers represent the children of the sun. All right. So that's why the sun is a cathode. So she called on the energy of Basit to cleanse all impurity. All right. So Sekhmet's connection to Leo, she's a solar deity embodying the sun's intensity and power. She represents Leo's protective nature, bravery, and capacity to transform through fire and purification. Just like Leo, she could be passionate and forceful. Sekhmet can bring forth destruction and healing, symbolizing Leo's ability to tear down illusions and bring forth personal growth. Leo is also connected to Bastet, or Bas, the feline goddess of joy, music, and protection. While Sekhmet represents first power and the warrior aspect of Leo, Bastet embodies the warm and the affectionate creative side of the sign. Now, if for those of you who did not ever know that there was a difference between Bastet and Sekhmet, now you know the difference. Okay. So a lot of people might think they were the same type of energy, which they are both the same thing, but this just shows different aspects of the feminine principle. All right. Sekhmet is more of the protector. All right. Now, of course, well, she's more of the warrior, and Basit is more of the protector. All right. One is going to deal with joy and music, but goddamn it, when you bring out Sekhmet, you might well bring out the war drums. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sekhmet ain't coming to dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Basit coming to get her dance on, so you might want to invoke some Basit energy or some Sekhmet energy out on right now. I don't know which one you need to embody. I don't know if you burning some shit away. I don't know if you feel like you want to, use that energy of Basit to, Sekhmet, to help purge whatever impurities that are going on in your life, in your sacral chakra, in your love life, and all that good stuff. I don't know if you need some Basit. You need to celebrate, release, surrender, some joy. You need to taste of both. I would say do both. That's my suggestion. Don't pick one. Do both. Okay? Embrace the energy of both. Now, when you're dealing with this aspects of Baset's connection to Leo, she rules over joy, pleasure, and creativity and celebration, aligning with Leo's love for expression and joy. She teaches balance between power and play. A crucial lesson for Leo's natives. All right. So a lot of y'all, narratives. For a lot of y'all with a lot of Leo placement, just be mindful of this energy. As if it resonates, it resonates. She emphasizes self-love, confidence, and the importance of personal radiance. Now, all of us connect to the sun, so all of us got Leo energy. So for all of y'all who might not feel like you got Leo placements in your chart or whatever the case may be, remember, Leo is ruled by the sun. So connect your Leo energy to your sun power and your vitality and your courage and all that good shit. Leo represents the fifth house. We talked about earlier, represents self-expression and creativity, romance and passion, children and inner joy, performance, leadership, and recognition. Since Leo is ruled by the sun, its role in the birth chart is deeply tied to identity and purpose. The sun, as its ruling planet of Leo, represents our core essence, willpower, and purpose in life. Now, when you're dealing with the vitality and the life force, just as the sun sustains life, Leo's energy in the birth chart represents where a person radiates confidence, warmth, and creativity, courage, and strength. Leo's placement shows how an individual approaches challenges and seeks recognition. This and leads with the heart. Leo's connection to the sun in astrology. The sun is the most important celestial body, as it indicates the conscious identity, ego, and vitality. Leo is the home of the sun, and it expresses raw, unfiltered self expression. Much like how the sun shines regardless of the circumstances, the sun's transit through Leo each year, late July to August, is a time of self empowerment and bold expression and action, and embracing personal uniqueness. Right now, when you're dealing with this can be propelling us, like I said earlier. Whatever you putting down now, right now, if you got something as a long-term goal, imagine you birthed it now and you reap the harvest in Leo season. Remember, Leo leads us into the fall, right? So understand that Virgo starts a lot of culture's new year. So understand that what you birth now, you can literally see the results during Leo season. Okay. All right. So birth it now. You got something you want to do, put it down now, make it happen now. All right. And be patient enough to at least wait till Leo season to look for some results. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with the spiritual and the mundane influence of Leo, the spiritual influence of Leo teaches the path of divine self-awareness, courage, and creative manifestation. It represents the ability to illuminate the world with one's inner light, much like the sun. Mundane influence in the day-to-day life of Leo is the public recognition and leadership roles, and personal charisma. It governs professions related to entertainment, politics, and any role requiring bold and confident presence. Now, my final thoughts on this was just saying that Leo is a bridge to between the divine and the physical realm. Because when you're dealing with the embodiment of the courage and you're dealing with the passion and how you gotta, you gotta vibrate on that shit. You gotta radiate on that shit, right? Now, this is dealing with a vibrational energy. This is why the sun is so electromagnetism and magnetism and dielectricity and electricity, right? So when you're dealing with the push and the pull of the moon and the sun, the yin and yang, okay? This is whether it's viewed through Greek, Roman, or Kemetic mythology. Leo's lessons remain the same. Embracing your inner power, lead with love, and shine fearlessly. I ain't seen a part of where I've studied or looked into Leo energy to where it changed. All right. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about some of the trends that is going on right now in the cosmos. But once again, before I do, anybody got any question about what I just went over about the mythology of it? Anything you want to ask or whatever the case may be. All right. Now these transits are going to be very influential on this full moon. All right. Now, right now, the moon is sextile Jupiter, which is going to be a harmonious aspect. A sextile is a 60-degree aspect of separation between the sun and the moon. I mean, Jupiter and the moon. Jupiter and the moon, yes. All right. And Jupiter's in Gemini right now. All right. Now, the moon being in Leo. So, this is more courage in your speech. Harmonious aspect enhances optimism, generosity, and the desire for intellectual growth. The moon trine Chiron. All right. Now, when you're dealing with a trine, this is 120 degrees. Okay. So Aries is going to be dealing with this energy because Chiron is in Aries. This facilitates emotional healing, encourages individuals to confront and mend past wounds with courage. Now, anything that's trying in your chart, because the Leo energy is always trying what is in your first house. All right. And it's also the first house is always trying the ninth house. So I'm just telling you how you can just kind of look in your chart and look at whatever's in your first house. This is what is influencing and helping you out. What's going on in your fifth house, and also when you look at where this transit could be happening, 9 times out of 10 is happening in your fifth or your first house, or wherever your Leo placement is. All right. Now the moon opposition Pluto is going to deal with a lot of highlights around personal struggles and deep emotional transformations, urging a balance between personal desires and collective needs. Now, for all of you who may not understand what's going on here, a moon in opposition, remember we did it 180 degrees. Whenever you put 180 with 180, you get what? 360. That's 360 degrees of knowledge. Remember, the moon is in Leo and Pluto is in Aquarius. That's why they opposite. It's just that simple, right? They're opposite signs. They oppose each other 180 degrees apart. Now, what that means is there is a struggle between power. All right. Now, this is going to be your emotional and also your mental. So remember the heart and the brain. Okay. So don't let the terminology confuse you. Just remember the words I'm putting down and match with these key. Just get these are key words I'm giving you so you can be able to make this make sense for yourself. All right. Remember, a trine is going to facilitate some emotional healing. This opposition is going to bring a struggle in this. All right. And the sextile is going to be harmonious. So you got some things that's helping you out with the struggle. All right. Your mood might be all over the place. It might be hard for you to detach right now. Pluto is saying, yeah, I'm going to drag your ass through it if you don't let go. I'm going to just tell you right now. Pluto is like, you don't want me making these choices for you because if you got to get dragged into your transformation, then so be it. Pluto, like my whole job here is to awaken you with Aquarius. And I got to awaken you from your emotional bullshit because your feelings might not be facts. But it is only through emotion to where you would move stagnant energy and inertia. You got to feel some shit. You can't think your way through this shit. Anybody that knows, anybody, any of my mentees, anybody that I coach that is in this Zoom class, you already know that this is what I tell you all the time. Because trying to think your way through a lot of this, it leaves the heart feeling destitute, leaves the heart feeling lonely. And you've been doing that long enough. So that's why the energy is amplified. You've been escaping that feeling your whole life. This is why inner child can be so hurt and so feeling so everybody can be like they're healing their inner child for the rest of their life. Well, I'm telling you that the full moon is saying it's time to liberate your inner child. If you liberate your inner child, you won't ever have to keep healing it. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you liberate your inner, somebody quote that, post that, tag this zone, okay? If you liberate your inner child, you won't have to keep healing it. All right. Now, when you dealing with the moon, and the opposition and dealing with the square, even dealing with the aspect this highlight of your power struggles. All right. Now remember, look up into your chart. What is going on with your Aquarius energy? What is going on with your Leo energy? 9 times out of 10, this is where your transits are going to be. If you do have an app, you can go find your transits. And once again, if you do want to get a reading to get a look into your transits, make sure you hit me up and I will offer a discount to anybody who was in this room that does want it. All right. Now, when you're dealing with some of these other things that are going on with the moon, it's opposite Mercury. So remember, Mercury's in Aquarius and the moon is in Leo. There's your opposition once again. So this is going to be now around communication. Mercury also rules the first 13 years of your life. So Mercury is also a planet that is never more than 28 degrees away from your sun. Okay. It's always going to be the first sign closer to your sun sign. So 9 times out of 10, your Mercury and your Sun are just the same, or the Mercury is in the planet on the zodiac sign next to it, or even sometimes the one before it if it was in a retrograde energy or whatever the case may be. Now, there's going to be a lot of emotional conflicts because it want to uproot some deep memories. Whatever your reactions are, or whatever your emotional triggers are, you can be feeling easily triggered off in that place. It could be old wounds coming up, old shit that you wanted to let go of, right? But it just seems like these things are starting to persist more in your psychology because your heart wants to get rid of it. All right. So this is going to dealing with challenging effective communication. So be mindful of this as you deal with communicating with others, right? And kind of using your words. Now, when you're dealing with the moon square, Uranus and Taurus, it's introducing an unexpected change that urges release and outdated emotional patterns. Remember, the square is going to be 90 degrees, which can call this opposition or this aspect of the unexpected changes or something challenging you. Imagine a square is something squaring up with you, right? It's like when Kendrick Lamar say squabble up, right? So imagine something trying to squabble up with you, and you like, hold on, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? But you got to be mindful of what fight you pick, depending on what your square is doing right now. All right. So a lot of these outdated emotional patterns, because Uranus wants you to rebel against those. Taurus deals with your value system, and also this can deal with your love life. This can be dealing with your resources. This can be dealing with your coins, because Taurus rules a money house, which is the second house. Now I don't know where your Taurus is. Like for instance, I have Chiron and Taurus, so of course this energy is going to be dealing with my health because it's in the sixth house, and also going to deal with the aspects of love languages and values and self-worth and all this type of stuff. All right. So understanding the theme of what could be influencing you in your life is very powerful when you understand these energies. Now, the moon, of course, is opposite the sun because the sun is in Aquarius. All right, full moon. All right. This emphasizes the dichotomy between the individual expression Leo and the collective consciousness Aquarius, bringing matters to culmination. Whatever you've been going through with the collective and going through with other people that you really just being like chilling with or whatever, but you like going around these groups and shit, right? It's the time to deal with that shit, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you, cause this can make you feel exiled. Cause it might be your own sensitivity that's stopping you from connecting with people because integrating into humanity requires that you drop your I, but you gotta know the one. You gotta know the I. You gotta know your heart. You gotta know your mind. You gotta know who the fuck you are when you integrate into a group of people. Otherwise, you can get yourself twisted thinking somebody else got you twisted. All right, I'm just telling you, cause people don't become your enemies; they become your masters, and the only enemy is the inner me. So when you got the courage to say it with your motherfucking chest, you got the courage to address things from a place of emotional intelligence, you can resolve all conflict. And you also know, of course, when to expand your love. Because sometimes some things are meant to be resolved, and you got to accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be. And that way you can walk away knowing that you did something with love. I showed up in love. I did my best to love. I loved. And the next thing I had to do was distance around this motherfucker. So sometimes once you give in your heart, once you've been devoted, once you've done all you can do, once you cured, like, and you can watch a lot of experiences start to come into this influence. So you got to ask yourself which one is true for you and which one is true for the matters of your heart. So this is going to be a period of heightened emotional expression, especially during this full moon in Leo, and the transformative experiences, unexpected developments, and collectively, humanity may experience. So emotional amplification of surge and expressive behaviors with individuals and groups seeking recognition and validation. Transformational dialogues. Public discussions may resolve around these themes of power dynamics, social structures, and the balance between individual rights and communal responsibilities. Cause it's a trip when you show up for the community and you start feeling like it's your motherfucking job, it's your assignment, and spirit led me to do this, spirit led me to do that. When you're not recognized, it's in your heart to do it. You are spirit. You don't have to be spirit led, right? So you making choices. So if it's not you and your heart ain't in it, why you doing it? Because a lot of times, if your heart ain't into your head and your head is in it, that's ego. That's why you so sensitive. Because if your heart is truly in something, you don't give a damn about what somebody questioning. Shit, when you know you love something, can't nobody question your authenticity. Because it's only reflecting them back to you. And you got to know the difference between them and you. That's why you got to do the work. All right? So that's why we do the work to solidify the matters of the heart, and we begin to understand ourselves on a heart level. And that's why this period of a heightened emotional expression and transformative experiences and all these things could be very amplified during this time. Excuse me. And also the transformative dialogues dealing with the public discussions and may resolve around these themes of power, dynamic social structures, and the balance between individual rights and communal responsibilities. As the unforeseen events, sudden shifts in social political arenas could challenge existing norms, promoting a revolution or a revelation, right, of the collective values, or a reevaluation, my bad, of the collective values. Now, the moon in Leo, where Uranus, Taurus, T square with the moon is in Leo and the sun in Aquarius. The T square, remember, this is going to be dealing with something is at an apex. So this is why you're dealing with the sun being at an apex, and then it's being dealing with the square between the moon and also Uranus. And this is going to be dealing with a deep dive into awakening talents and purpose, right? So the full moon illuminates the sky, bringing in the profound realizations of self-expression, purpose, and courage. The full moon with a T square, Uranus, is in Taurus is also with the sun in Aquarius. This is going to be generating an intense path to look forward in radical change. Now, this is also going to deal with the energy and the catalyst of the breakthroughs of how people see themselves and their talents, urging them to take bold steps bold steps forward. However, it also carries sudden shifts, forcing people to adapt to and awaken to their authentic selves. Now, when you're dealing with this, let's break this down, right? The influence of the full moon illuminating authenticity and purposes. Leo in the sign of the heart, creativity and courage is ruled by the sun, symbolizing the self, vitality, and purpose. When the full moon lands in Leo, it shines a light on our inner desires and our talents and our sense of personal expression. The full moon will push individuals to stand in their truth, especially in the areas where they have been hesitant to shine, and encourages confidence and boldness, challenging people to step into their leadership roles and share their creativity with the world. It exposes insecurities related to self worth, visibility, and confidence, pushing people to confront and heal these issues. This is a powerful time for individuals to embrace their unique gifts and talents and fears of judgment or rejection. It's why you see a lot of women starting to ask for people's or for men's hands in marriage. A lot of people think there's other shit going on. I'm just telling y'all what's going on in the cosmos. Sigmet. See, there is nothing like a woman that goes for what she wants. Right? I'm gonna just tell you the real person. Tell you the real, cause this dynamic done told us that it's all about the princess and somebody coming to save you, a man pursuing you. Man, women pick kings in the ancient cultures, right? You ain't gonna a man can have all the motherfucking game and he want in the world, but you ain't gonna be shit until the woman say yes to you. So don't let this shit flip on y'all to the point to where you don't recognize. I ain't telling y'all to go out here and propose to no goddamn men and shit now, okay? I'm just telling you to follow your heart desires, right? I posted a video like this on Instagram where a woman was speaking about this. So don't be afraid to say what you want. That's all I'm saying, right? So a lot of time because you are afraid, you waiting on something. And a lot of time you'll never know because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid to get hurt. That shit right there can stop people from doing a lot of shit. If you bold enough to do it with somebody or something that you love, shit, imagine the power that you get when you accept no. Because if you can't accept no, it's hard for you to say no. I'm going to say that one more goddamn time. You could be one of these people who don't know how to say no. And then you don't know how to accept no. Then somebody say no and they're like, oh my God, they don't like me. I think they looking at me different. And see, love is something that, well, I don't gotta show up every day to prove that I love you. But in this construct, somebody, you ain't reach out, you didn't think about me. I don't know if you love, man, people just go to questioning and then emotions getting, and then you feeling judged and rejected. Then you think somebody else supposed to adhere to that shit. But I'm gonna tell you, when you actually care that your actions affect other people, you gotta be mindful that you done brought in something that you love. You done said yes to some shit because you probably craved it. So it's two sides to this shit now. So don't get it twisted. You don't have the courage, you have the nuts to do all this shit because your animalistic nature kicked in, and before you know it, now you done rah and you done got what you wanted, so called, or your whole energy done exhausted, your chemicals got satisfied. Satisfaction killed the cat, right? I mean, curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought it back, right? So don't forget, the lion is an aspect of the cat. So a lot of time we get involved in some shit that can feel good, and then you get into it not realizing that how much love and how much care and how much of your heart you actually got to put in it. So be mindful of your actions with the matters of your heart. Okay. Now, as you deal with these sudden breakthroughs and all these shifts and all the things that we could be going through, these unexpected opportunities, sudden change and awakening and self-worth and money and creative gifts, all right? There's a lot of things could be happening and awakening with this, especially with the Uranus and Taurus adding to that disruptive element, because now the shifts in financial stability and career and direction and personal values. So expect some of that. Expect it, right? Aquarius rules miracles. Anytime you hear miracles in the Bible and going to see the man with the house of water, all that is Aquarian energy. All right. So Aquarius ruling miracles and all that good stuff. Okay. So when you understand the power of, you know, how this might play out in a real life aspect, because basically that feeling of restlessness, even unexpected opportunities to share your talents with the world, right? But it's only for those willing to take a deep leap of faith, right? So imagine you look funny out there doing what you're doing, then somebody else come join you, somebody else come join you. Now it's a whole fad. So Uranus energy, Aquarius can be trendsetters. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with taking a leap of faith, sometimes even having the feeling of feeling restless and urgency to break free from societal conditioning. All right, this is a wake-up call, where a moment where we can have our old limitations shattered by new pathways and emerging. However, right, because Uranus is involved, this may also feel unexpected or even chaotic at first. Okay, because Uranus deals with our nervous system and it deals with kind of the brain. Talk about that a little later on. Now, when you're dealing with examples of how this might play out in real life, artists may have been afraid to share their work suddenly goes viral, right? Forcing them into the spotlight. I'd be like, I wasn't expecting everybody to do, I wasn't expecting this to go viral, right? So a lot of y'all who've been afraid to share your work, but all of a sudden, now you get thrust into the spotlight. That's this Leo type of energy that could be working in your behalf, all right? So a corporate worker may unexpectedly lose their job, but this leads to, you having to pursue your true passion in a creative field. So a lot of y'all may have some weird shit happening with the job, some of your desires to walk away from some things, detach from some things. A person who have been playing safe might suddenly feels overwhelmed and the urge to move, to start a new career, take risks that they have never considered to do before. This energy pushes people out of their comfort zones. So they also can begin to align with their true passions and their purpose. So I told you, if you want these energies to make decisions for you, this is what you can expect. What I just named, everything I just talked about. All right. So ask yourself, is something you want to do, or you want to wait for these energies to push you into it, right? So the inconjunct now with Neptune, because the inconjunct can bring a lot of life-changing experiences, okay? So the inconjunct with Neptune and Pisces is a connection to the North Node, and inconjunct are quincunx. So this is something kind of beyond 190 something degree, 193 degrees. Now this can bring a very challenging aspect into a chart. So between this full and moon aspect and the Neptune Pisces brings an element of confusion, idealism, and spiritual realignment. So the spiritual disillusionment, some people may feel lost, questioning their dreams, purpose, or creative direction. Creative awakening. Others may have powerful downloads or inspirations, feelings deeply connected to music, art, or spiritual insights. Now, when you're dealing with the illusions breaking down, the veil is lifted to revealing truths about who you really are versus who you have been conditioned to be. Because you could be a whole accumulation of thoughts and ideas and ideologies and beliefs and not really be your goddamn self. All right. So the connection to North Node and Pisces, especially with the North Node and Pisces, urges to surrender and trust in a spiritual evolution. This full moon will force individuals to release outdated beliefs about success, creativity, and also self-worth in order to align with their higher path. If someone has been holding on to a false identity, this transit will dissolve it. I'm talking about eradicate it. All right. I should have put that too. So forcing them to embrace their true essence. The reason why I said eradicate, dissolve is Neptune. Eradicate is Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius. Mercury is in Aquarius. Your thought forms about who the fuck you are, right? Who you think you are versus who you like destined to be is gonna really come into play. So your faith will be tested. I'm gonna tell you right now. For those who trust the process will find the new doors opening. Now, your faith will be tested like in the goddamn Bible it tells you. I'm just telling you what's testing it. You might say it's God. You might say, hey, this is the language of the creator. This is the language of God per se, right? So when you deal with the aspects of intelligence, because these planets are intelligence, they're compelling you, they're moving you, they're urging you, they're influencing you. The choices that you make are you. These planetary energies are yours, they're not you. A fool lives by the stars, a wise man makes them dance at his feet. All right. So open up these doors in often unexpected ways is what's gonna be happening. So examples of how this might play out in real life, right? So chasing that fame might realize your deeper calling in sound healing and spiritual music. Okay. So you might want to switch your genre as an artist. You might be like, I want to do more spiritual music. If that's what's calling you, make the shift. A business owner shifts from profit-driven work to soul-led work after realizing their deeper purpose. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm experiencing that shift, right? Because Virgo, my North Node ain't gonna let me move out of not doing this for my services and like for my money, right? But I always have had a big heart with this. I give away a lot of shit. I open up a lot of things. But like I said, when you're dealing with this aspects of the cosmos and what's influencing you, it would be selfish of me not to be selfless. All right. So someone who has more of a vivid dreams or visions and synchronicities guiding them towards their higher path. So your dreams could be more vivid, like giving you a roadmap to what you want to do, where you want to go. For a lot of you with North Node and Pisces, you have to create your dream and then make it a reality with the South Node and Virgo, right? With your work ethic, but making sure that your everyday routines are moving towards creating your reality. So when you're dealing with this energy and how to work with it for maximum growth, because of the intensity of this full moon, it's important to ground, center, and channel the energy of productivity. So practical and spiritual ways to utilize the energy, of course, journaling, reflecting, right? What creative gifts have you been afraid to share with the world? What limited beliefs about yourself need to be released? Where do I need to trust my intuition more? Energy work, meditation, visualization, right? Lighting a radiant light from your chest, embracing your personal power. These are things you can add to the meditation that I want you to do for yourself tonight, all right, to embrace this energy of this full moon. So all these are other steps that you can use. Of course, grounding, dealing with your nervous system, releasing fear of judgment, all that good stuff. Um, Releasing, embracing this shift with confidence and courage will lead to the clarity and you seek. This full moon in Leo is an activation point, a cosmic push to step into your gifts, let go of fear, and awaken to your higher purpose, to our higher purpose. The T square with Uranus ensures that this awakening will be unexpected, disruptive, and untimely, right? And it'll be freeing. It might be disruptive, it might be untimely, but it's gonna free your ass, okay? Now it may feel chaotic or uncertain. It is actually a divine redirection towards a life of greater authenticity, fulfillment, and expression. For those of you who are in it, just take a deep breath with me and put your hand on your heart. You're exactly where you should be. This should be confirmation that you're not going through anything that you should not be going through. That means that this Leo influence and the cosmos influences are influencing you towards this growth and authenticity and change and full self-expression. So do it with your goddamn chest. Get in now. Now, this is a moment to stop wanting, right, waiting to start believing in yourself. When we align with our true essence, we share our light. We not only transform ourselves, but we also inspire the world around us. So now this is an impact on the zodiac signs. Of course, you can look into this and see, what is your sign, what is going on with you. All right. So, mine is Gemini, and of course, there's gonna be a heightened communication of social interactions, right? Causes of misunderstandings and conflicts and dialogues. I'm a master communicator, but most people are not. One thing I learned is I don't adhere to conflict. If you had conflict with yourself, I'm not feeding into your psychological drama. That's one of the best ways I've learned not to get into it with people. Once I heard that you had conflict with yourself and you think I'm supposed to adhere to that, I'm out. I'm out. I ain't got nothing. I have no words because now I'm going to be trying to solve things about your mind and you're going to view me as the enemy. Once you hurt somebody's ego, they'll never hurt you the same. All right? I want you to really understand that there's a power to learning how to communicate from an authentic place. And that requires a lot of being bold, being real, being honest. Now they have a science to prove that authenticity and the expression of that and honesty is higher than the feeling or the expression of love. So we'll talk about some of that tonight as well. So when you're dealing with these aspects of your zodiac sign, remember you have the booklet. All right, you should have it. If you do not have it, please say something, put something in the chat or something. Let us know you don't have it. You should have it though. All right. But when you're dealing with this energy, I want you to look at what your sun sign is. And also, of course, I have a breakdown for the moon signs as well. Because the moon signs, of course, is going to be influenced by this. So when you look at your moon sign, this is going to be telling you about, a powerful theme of healing around your inner child and all those different things about what you want to deal with in the aspects of your moon sign. All right. I know we got some Leo moons in the building. So remember, because it is a Leo moon, even if your moon sign is not Leo, this is still going to be dealing with a pink momentum, a peak moment of your personal power and self-expression and recognition. Confidence surges, but pride may lead to conflicts. Opportunities for creative projects and leaderships and romance, spiritual influence. A time for personal rebirth and stepping into one's full potential. Lessons in humility and using personal power wisely. Calls for integrating heart-centered leadership and service. So remember, this energy is present for all of us with the Leo full moon, but just be mindful of how it's going to be influencing your moon sign altogether. Like my moon is Scorpio, all right? So it's a lot of reaching and a lot of intensity and a lot of peaking and leading to deep emotional transformations and power struggles and professional or personal settings. And, and once if it's a power struggle, I ain't fighting. Because I don't got to fight nobody for my power. And that's the greatest power you got, that you don't got to fight for it. Once you feel like you got to fight for some shit, it's no longer yours. You just gave it up. But don't come fucking with me though. Cause ain't my throat chakra ain't blocked. And like what I posted the other day, I'll knock the crown chakra out your goddamn shit, okay? But when you dealing with your power, right, walk in it, but you must know yourself in order to do this, all right? Now there's also something else going on with this called a Kazemi. Okay. Now, anybody got any questions over these placements before I move on? All right.
So
Anybody got any?
Sensei, I have a question.
What's up, Tony?
So when we think about the placements, if they're all the Leo placements, particularly if they're in the outer planets, does that mean it's much more work with individuals, with other individuals, as opposed to your own individual work?
Oh, and because it's going to be a result of the individual work that you've done. Now, for the other people who have not done a lot of the introspection and the deep work that the outer planets require, right? Because we know they're so spiritual, they so generational. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
for the people who haven't done that work, they ain't gonna want to shine a light for the people who need it. You get what I mean? Like that courage to do it because they ain't gonna have what they feel like they need to get out here and make it happen. So I love the way you said it because it shows where you are in your relationship with the Leo energy because it sounds like you ready to take center stage and help some people out with healing their inner child and your aspects of how creative you can be and how bold and expressive you can be with that Leo energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would. That's a good one, and I would say just for those people, because those outer planets bring exactly that. Because that's other people and the community and legacy and all this type of stuff. So it's exactly that, Tony. And for a lot of those people on the other side, of course, once again, they might still be dealing with some deeper introspection into the matters of the heart and the things they have to accept when it comes to their own individuality before they take a leap into the public to help somebody else in that area. And just like when I say how people could be dealing with burnout, because this ain't what you should be doing. You might need to still be doing some work. So when this is what you love, when your heart is in it, it don't burn you out.
Got it. Because they're both Uranus and Pluto,
Mm. So that's
both
the
in the eighth house.
Oh yeah. So now, since you've done the work in transformation and you had your awakening, now that you understand occult knowledge, right? How to use that, how can I bring this forth to humanity? Now I'm not thinking about my everyday needs where Uranus and Taurus being met. Now I don't have to worry about all these. I'm not afraid to die and be reborn. I ain't going through no 100 dark nights of the soul. I done studied. I know myself. I got myself approved. I'm very strong in my individuality. Now, if they want this work, they can come get it. Like, cause Scorpio, they gotta want it. Like, you can't now with all the energy, especially what I know what you got going on. If they ain't want it, cause if they don't want it, they gonna end up stinking their goddamn self. Because they gonna have to come get that work, cause you're gonna be for real about change and for real about transformation. And with that Uranus energy right there, and especially coming in with that Neptune and all that being in that eighth house, yeah, it's all community, it's all love. It's like I come in peace, but I come to awaken and shake your ass up too. So hey,
Thank you.
you're welcome, beloved. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, could you continue to expand on the inhibitions, like the things that is holding people back? You said generationally there was something that contributes to that. I didn't catch that whole message.
Okay, like when you dealing with you talking about what I was just speaking to her.
Yeah, like talking about what hold people back from wanting to take center stage, or like what blocks them out from really tapping into the full potential of the Leo moon.
Okay, no, that's a beautiful question because the planets that she asked about were outer planets that we call in astrology. Those outer planets deals with the energy of Uranus, which deals with the generational aspect of the how your energy, how your family deal with public and even philanthropy and humanity work. All right, how your family dealt with detachment, right? How they dealt with coming together on a humanity level, knowing everything ain't about them, right? It also deals with the generations of the people that came before you. Were they awakened to the information? Did they understand their individuality? Did they operate in the know or did they operate in the belief system type shit? All right. So now this can deal with how words you felt. Are you the black sheep of your family? This is where Uranus brings in. All right. When you bring in the dynamic of Pluto, because what she talked about with that outer planet of Pluto was the planet of a generational shift. So now you would look at what generational Pluto you're born under. That can tell you about what you're shifting and transforming in the areas of your life's lineage or your family's lineage, and also the generation that came before you. So Pluto is also going to deal with your transformation on a spiritual level, but also how you could be transforming generational habits that have been detrimental to the overall theme of legacy, inheritance, the ancestors that died before you, what they died doing, shared resources. Did people have insurance policies when they died? These type of things. How people prepare for like how people prepare for death and life that came before us. All right. Now, when you bring that on the generational aspect, if you never known what that looks like with your parents, if you got parents that talked a lot of shit but didn't really do a lot of shit, If you got a parent that lived through you vicariously, if if you had a parent that never showed the courage, that never used their creativity, that left a lot of shit dormant. What if you had a parent that was good in sports, that was bold, that was a good communicator, that was a strong connection to your father? These are all the different dynamics that can come into play. And if you look at yourself and say, what can I utilize or what do I need to release in an aspect of what I've learned, what I've adapted, what I've associated myself to when it comes of those that came before me? And now how can I drop all of that and just be me? How can I drop all the family values, the traditions, everything that comes with not people not being themselves, people not being real, people not being authentic, how people come together in funerals and shit when they really don't love each other. And you might be the one to be like, man, I don't like when that shit be going on because they ain't really showing no love when somebody ain't dead. You hear what I'm saying? Like all these generational things that a lot of us could be dealing with Pluto energy and Aquarius. If you feeling that type of energy, you the one that here to shake it up. Cause you ain't gonna stop nobody from dying. And you're not gonna stop the fact that you love somebody that's gonna be probably transitioning. You ain't gonna stop the fact that you have a last day in everybody's life and everybody has a last day in yours. The courage to love, the courage to be bold, the courage to show up, the courage to love in ways that everybody else don't want to love, the courage to know I don't care how fucked up somebody is, I love them for who they are, right? So now this might be a real challenge for a lot of us in the family dynamic. And a lot of us may not have ever received love that way. And some of us could have been raised in that love and now you struggle with giving it away. So it's so many ways that the family dynamic can play out here when it comes to the areas of how Leo could be aspected in your chart. So once again, brother, look into your chart. And for anybody that resonated with that, look into your chart, see where your Leo placement is, see what's going on in your fifth house. And that'll give you a huge dynamic into more of an insight of what I just talked about. I hope that helps you out, my brother.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm still fascinated by the connection between family lineage and how that would hold somebody back individually from wanting to contribute to the collective. Like I'm an artist and I know I have a lot to offer, but at the same time, like sometimes I just be like, man, fuck it, I can't do this shit. And just fall victim to that. You know what I mean? Like self talk, negative self talk or whatever, or just really just caught up in the day-to-day routine of life. So it's just like, how do you summon the willpower to want to do the thing? And nonetheless, like you were saying earlier, like, if this is your thing, you're just gonna do it naturally. Yes, I do it naturally. I feel good when I'm doing it. But at the same time, though, I want to give that to the world. And then with that same token, on the flip side, it's like, yo, if I don't give it to the world, I feel like, man, I'm not gonna leave a legacy. And the shit just I'm alive for what? You know what I mean? So then it becomes like a question of faith to where as though like, yo, do I have faith that this is going to all work out for the better? And then with that it's a challenge. Like, you know what, you got to make yourself make it turn out for the better. Because if you're not showing up, then no, it's not going to do anything. So you touched on all of those things, but I just wanted to make sure that it was cohesive, like a one answer. You know what I mean? Like, or to help guide me as to how to self talk in this circumstance where it's like I'm kind of at the crossroads with my heart because I know what I want and I know what I'm doing to get what I want, but it just doesn't feel like I'm doing myself as much, honoring myself as much as I need to.
What's your sign? You a Virgo?
I'm a Cancer.
Cancer. Where's Virgo in your chart?
Virgo, South Node, I think.
I
Let me
knew it.
just double check. Yeah.
Yeah, you got your comfort zone. You feel what I'm saying? Like, everything you talking about is comfortable for you. So whenever you're dealing with the Pisces North Node, bro, it's unfamiliar territory. All right. And you said you a Cancer, right?
Yeah.
So let's just look into this real quick, okay? Because Mars is retrograde in Cancer and shit, okay? Now, Cancer. Now, the mundane aspects, watch this: financial matters, personal values, heightened unexpected expenses or shifts in income may occur. Now, this is going to deal with an invitation to reassess self worth, embracing inner abundance over material possessions. Now, what's your moon sign?
Leo.
Ha! Man, say, yeah, you. All right, now watch that. I just read the Leo, right?
Right.
Now, when you dealing with how that personal power and that confidence and how you want to use that, but those conflicts, because now with your Virgo South Node, you asked me how do you create it. I got a couple of mentees and a couple people I'm coaching. I got a dear brother of mine. You just made me think about him when you just said that. He might be in here right now too. But when you dealing with that whole aspect of that, you got a North Node in Pisces. What it's a flip. Okay, my North Node is in Virgo. My South Node Pisces. All right. Now, what that means is we're headed in two different directions, but we both got to use the same energy. When you're dealing with a North Node in Pisces, you have to learn how to tap into your unseen power. All right. This is going to be a shift in your everyday routines. You have to start making sure your everyday routines fit the dynamics of the reality that you want to create. For you, breaking beliefs, breaking religious dogma, breaking whatever your family dynamics thought about when it meant to be spiritual, all the being critical, analytical of you, all this old kind of shit, especially with your sun sign being in Cancer and your moon sign being in Leo. Your mom and your daddy were very, huge in your life. You know what I'm saying? So this can show a dynamic of you like trying to please people or over nurturing or over caring or neglecting yourself in some type of way. Now, it can make you prideful a lot of times about what you want to do. Now, this can make you shy because when you put a Cancer sun sign, you want to stay in your shell, but Leo want to be outside. You get what I'm saying? So that whole aspect of fire and water, if it feels right, lean into it, especially when you got a North Node in Pisces, because you have to trust your intuition. I would suggest that this exercise I gave my brother, my brother who I'm coaching right now. I gave him this exercise just today. Write down what you want to create, the person you want to become, the life you want to live. Write it down and make it plain to the universe. Do that tonight. All right. Get you some parchment paper if you don't, or get you a brown paper sack, or get you some paper, get you a real pencil, and write down the person that you want to become, whatever emotional baggage you need to release. First, I want you to write down whatever emotional baggage you need to release, whatever connections or whatever the matters of your heart, whatever names come up, write it all down, release it with love, all right, burn that shit, and then write down the person you want to become, the life you want to live, write down what you want to create, the music, all the things that you feel and that you want to create for yourself. Write it down, whatever the matters of your heart. Get it out on paper. Make it plain to the universe, bro, and let it manifest. Because this could be a flip for you and not having to trust everything tangible with the Virgo and being able to trust your intuition with the Cancer and being able to trust your ability to be bold in your expression and not having to live up to nobody's expectations but your own, right? So you can have a lot of expectations for yourself, which can be beautiful, but when you start to put too many things on yourself, it can be very detrimental to what you want to create. Because the South Node in Virgo can make you drown in the details. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of time going into the North Node in Pisces, it might not make sense, but goddamn it, do it anyway because you trust. This is a high energy of having faith, right? Because what is faith without works? South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So you put the work in, you put the creativity in, and you know that everything else is working in your favor.
Hey, OG, I appreciate all your words. I always have. I've been rocking with you since 2020 on Clubhouse. This weekend, over the past 2 weeks, this weekend though, I made a vision board, a bigger vision board. 2 weeks ago, I made the first one. So like all of it, just doing visually what you just said, and then with the new moon, I released a lot of stuff. But it's just fascinating, like breaking those religious paradigms like that still exists within me, even though for years I always been on this comedic science tip. I still went back to the Bible and was like, oh shit, Revelations, it's all a wrap for me. And then I had to break it down and like really think it through and like, yo, what the fuck am I talking about, my nigga? I'm scared for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a dichotomy, it's a push and pull, and it always has been. So just trying to find, a through line, a common ground that I could move with that isn't so based in tangible, worldly fucking experiences or things that is what has held me back in the past. So you know, it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating. You know what I mean? Like you said, the stars should fall at our feet. We shouldn't be living by them. So I'm learning that now. You know, so I appreciate your help, man. Thank
No, that's for sure, because that's a high level of surrender and trust. And that's basically what you're talking about. North Node and Pisces, you just going with your own flow, brother. Create your own wave and ride that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's some good shit, because breaking those beliefs and dogma and all that shit is gonna be huge for you. Cause that shit could be deeply embedded in your family lineage. And also the fear of displeasing God or displeasing something, right? So knowing that you are an expression of as creation, you're never separate from the creator, bro. Never. All right.
Hey,
you. I
Sensei,
say,
this is Danielle.
What's up with it, beloved?
Hey, and I wanted to thank Zuri because even though well, my North Node is Scorpio in the 10th house, but I still resonated with that. And I'm thinking that I'm picking this up because my Saturn is in Leo in the 8th house.
Mm.
And I come from I come from well, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. I mean, it's the only thing I ever knew. Like I was even when I was conceived, you know, I know that had a big impact on me. And I'm still find myself, unpacking, deprogramming, and I still find myself like there's just something there that's like even with the little steps that I keep making and moving forward, I still catch myself holding myself back. And so, can you give me some tips about how I can push through that? Because I'm thinking that it's really about, really surrendering, but not sure how.
That's a deep one, because with Saturn there in the eighth house, of course. Anytime you deal with Scorpio, the eighth house, this is a deep psychological like thought process at play. Scorpio is always, it's the frozen water. It's thinking on a deep process of like life and death and rebirth. So it's like, I like to say it's like small thoughts dying every day. Saturn brings in the memory of shit. And it's like being afraid to let something die in your mind. You know what I mean? So the whole aspect of that is definitely, especially with the South Node and with your Pisces energy and shit, creating routines that fit your spiritual beliefs, right? Because I'm gonna tell you what happens with the mind. And this is why a lot of times the psychological aspects can be so challenging, especially with all this Aquarian energy. And being able to feel our way into something, right? Because once it begins to make sense for you, this is the flip of religion into spirituality. They're really not separate from each other. They're really not. One is just giving you something else to believe in. That's it. Now, once you take that same faith that we grew up with, that faith of a mustard seed, that faith, it see, this how we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type shit, right? Like they like to say, right? There's something there that grandmother and mama and them had, to where it was some power in their prayer, it was some power in their words now. You understand? Like, now we know now, ain't nothing like a praying grandmama or praying mama. Now, you understand me? So when you take away the aspect of what you know now and what you gathered in the areas of the occult, right? Eighth house energy. Don't let that corrupt. This is why I break the Bible down the way I do. This is why I always deal with the metaphysical meaning, because it was my way to transform the word into something more meaningful and something that resonate. All right. Now, of course, we know religion means to bind all that good shit. But when we deal in the context of what it made us feel, right? The feeling that you get from knowing that something got your back, right? When you let go of the fear, when you kill the fear, the serpent, the energy of Scorpio, why Sagittarius points at Scorpio. When your perspective, Jupiter's in Gemini right now, when you allow your perspective to expand based off what you gather, the philosophical knowledge, now you got the higher knowledge, the higher wisdom, you done went to the higher books, the higher institutions, now you get it. You get what I'm saying? Now it's like I gotta embody it. Because it's one thing to accumulate all of it. Now my everyday practices gotta fit that with that Virgo energy going on with your nose. Now my practices have to be more towards what fit my spiritual beliefs. Because otherwise, it seems like I'm on a seesaw battle. And I'm gonna tell you, I dealt with that.
Exactly.
That's how I felt that because when I stopped, I'm gonna tell you what got me, and I know all of us, all y'all can probably resonate with this shit. When I stopped praying, I didn't know what to do. Like when I stopped praying, because I stopped praying, and it got to a point where I felt like I was begging. Like, cause anything I prayed for, it was like I'm begging God to look out for me, watch over me, bless my loved one. If I know everybody protected and I truly call myself trusting in something, what am I praying for? What am I begging for? Like, if I truly trust that spirit got me, my children are safe. This reality is what am I fearful of?
Mm.
So it made me look at it and say, am I tripping? Am I wrong? Am I supposed to still fear God? Like, whatever the case may be, it's that fear of the unknown. Once I realized I was scared because I didn't truly know God. Once I realized I was in love with a figment that somebody told me, man, when I tell you, I posted this on Facebook and I said, God came to me and I had a dream. I was told to read Psalms chapter 1 through 8. So the knowing that wants to come with Aquarius now that we in. Now, I always tell all Aquarius is you got one more sign to go. I believe. I know and I believe. Because even what you know must be met with a grain of salt. All right. One thing I began to know true, and one thing I began to stop believing in, I don't believe in God. I know God. That's why I say that. That knowing allowed me to surrender. That knowing allowed me to know it's okay for me to question. That knowing allowed me to realize that me trying to accumulate a bunch of knowledge is something that my mind wants to do. I don't have to do anything but surrender to what I don't know. The experience of knowing became that much more profound. And once I started to do yoga, once I started to acclimate these practices to my life, meditation is not what, but it's I stopped doing it, I became it, right? These things become a way of your natural lifestyle when you incorporate it to a place of it's something that becomes foundational. And I became to be tested. My faith got tested, right? My father transitioned, going through a lot of shit in my interpersonal shit. Like, so when you understand that your faith will be tested and you put a declaration on yourself and you don't have a strong spiritual foundation, then something happens, you will lean back on what you used to knowing. That'll make us waver a lot instead of forging through, having the courage to do it anyway. All right. So I know that was a kind of elongated answer, beloved, but there is really no one way to give you a blueprint to do it because this is all your way. This is all about what feels right for you. This is all about those days and those moments to where you know that it is just self-sabotage, that it is just your mind, that it is not you. You are not your mind. You are not your body, and you surrender to not knowing. You surrender to having the aspects of just doing it any goddamn way because you trust in your works. You know, that makes sense.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that does. And that's where I'm at,
Hmm. I
I
know that's where
I
you at too.
yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for the way that I was raised. It really, I'm looking back, I was like, oh wow, this really propelled me. Before I used to be, a long time ago, I was very angry and frustrated with the indoctrination. But now I look back and I see it, and even with like these past 4 year, well, I went back to my 9 to 5, but in at the end of May, I'm really stepping out and leaving my 9 to 5, and I feel like I really have been just like I could feel the heat just turn up. And that's why I asked about like what am I not getting? What am I not totally getting? Because I do sense the stubbornness, but that really resonated. Thank you so much.
You will. And remember, it's not you that's not getting it. It's your mind that want to get some shit. All you got to do is let the heart become the true master. And
Facts.
that can be very detrimental. The mind will fight us on that shit. I'm gonna tell you, boy, that's where the practices come into play. Cause your mind wanna do other shit. See, your mind wanna wake up, touch the phone, they wanna wake up and eat, they wanna wake up and do a whole bunch of shit. But when you wake up and you do breath work, you wake up and you do yoga, you wake up and you begin to make these practices your everyday thing, your body has to begin to react to that. Then it has to start to respond to that. Then you start beating yourself up when you don't get up on those days. So it becomes a routine. That is going to build a foundation for you to go out here and let life be life, and you just show up as a walking motherfucking solution.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right. Now, this Kazemi effect, okay? Now, when you're dealing with the Kazemi, I remember we talked about this, I think, 2 workshops ago, but I think it was 2 full moons ago. How many moons have passed since we talked about a Kazemi? You know what I mean? So when you're dealing with the Kazemi effect, this is going to deal with Mercury and the Kazemi with Aquarius and the Sun. This is going to impact with the full moon in Leo, and especially when you begin to understand what a Kazemi is, because this is when the planet is within zero. All right, this is going to be like 0.717 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So this is when the sun is placing. This is placed in the heart of the sun. This is what a Kazemi means. Something in the heart of the sun. Traditionally, Kazemi planets are seen as purified and empowered as they receive the full strength of the solar consciousness. So remember this: Mercury is the messenger of the gods. Okay. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. The sun illuminates and radiates consciousness throughout this reality. Everything is growing up towards the sun, reaching towards the goddamn sun. Everything in this reality is a solar principle. You think I'm lying? Burn it and see what happens. There's nothing that you burn that would turn to water. There's nothing that you burn that would turn into whatever elements you want to think about. But it's going to carbonate. It's going to come. You'll see the ash. You'll see the solar principle as it burns away. And a lot of things has to be burnt from a level of intense heat. And that's even when you deal with a gas fire or a grease fire, you can't put that shit out with water. Water will ignite it. So don't get this fire energy twisted, and don't confuse this or not miss the fact that this is dealing with your heart and your brain coherence. Mercury rules the right brain. Aquarius deals with the sodium of the body. We're gonna talk about that as well. And we're dealing with the circulation energy of you, right? And we also dealing with how Mercury want to purge away the 13 years of your life. I've been telling y'all, be ye renewed of the mind. If there was a time to where all of the mental shit that you've been going through wants to be dropped and wants to be renewed, this is it. So, as seen as a purification and empowerment as they receive the full strength of solar consciousness, Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, perception, and technology, right, becomes deeply infused with the sun's life force energy, illuminating higher thought, breakthroughs, and spiritual downloads. In Aquarius, Mercury becomes a revolutionary, inventive, detached, and focused, and on collective progress, humanitarian efforts, and futuristic thinking. This is where we move from surviving to thriving. This is where we begin to drop all those compulsive thoughts, all those reactions, and you begin to respond from a higher place of consciousness. Now, that's for those who willing to drop your likes and your dislikes, your childhood drama, your childhood trauma, your psychological drama. If you don't want to drop it, guess what? The Mercury, Pluto, Uranus, all that shit gonna do it for you. So, hey, don't be surprised if I'm gonna tell y'all. I don't want to be joking about this shit though, for real. Cause mental health is a real thing. All right, y'all know I talk a lot of shit now. Okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I do not take mental health lightly. I do not. And anybody that knows, when you call me in your mind and you all over the place, I do not take those moments lightly. But one thing I will not do, I'm not gonna let you sit in that place for too long fucking with me. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to snap out of your fucking delusions. And this is when we dealing with the fact that we can be going to war. I don't want to go to war with nobody who gonna be all shaking and shit. I gotta slap the shit out of you and be like, get your ass, we goddamn it, get your ass in gear. Hey man, so I know it for a lot of y'all, this might be new, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be sudden and it's gonna be quick. Cause a lot of y'all didn't choose y'all awakening 7 years ago. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of y'all didn't choose y'all awakening, goddamn me, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Okay. In 2012, 2000, 2007, 2017. Okay. So when you dealing with choosing to go within versus looking at everything saying, they conspiracy theorists and I don't believe in the planets and I'm gonna stick to know what my grandmama and them taught me and all that kind of stuff. When you didn't embrace this awakening, Now, with Aquarius here and Pluto, I've been telling y'all for years. I've been saying that when Pluto shifts into Aquarius, there will be no more opportunities for you to be able to stop and run away from the matters of what you want to do in the matters of your heart. It's just not going to happen. All right. So when you bring it in the aspect of the power of who you are and the powers of understanding that aspect of how you got to awaken and how you want to grow into this new aspect of yourself and all that good shit. Like, you don't want to get drugged through that right now. I'm about to get back to the screen sharing, y'all. Give me 1 second. But you don't want to get drugged through that, all right? So when you're dealing with this aspect of the awakening and the time of your power and all that good shit, this is what this Mercury energy is going to be purging. So this is going to impact on humanity. The Cazimi and Aquarius aligns with the snow full moon in Leo. Right now, this is revolutionary and that detached focus and collective progress, the humanitarian, if it's in the futuristic thinking, of course, is going to be at play. Now, this is going to be creating a potent gateway, an energetic gateway for breakthroughs in technology, AI, communication platforms, radical shifts in personal and collective consciousness, increased interest in activism and social justice and humanitarian cases, a balance between individuality, Leo, and collective awareness in Aquarius, psychic and mental downloads leading to paradigm shifts. This alignment brings a major revelation or a shift in the mindset about individuality, freedom, and also societal structures. So the last Mercury Cazimi, all right, from what we can learn from that was in Aquarius. That occurred in January 29th, 2024. Y'all know I had to get back to it, right? So if you look at this right now, where we at, right? This was what, almost a month ago. So I mean, yeah, almost. This was last year. Okay. So when you're dealing with this aspects of what we saw AI take off, we saw voice synthesis, we saw digital consciousness, we saw uprising and protests and advocating individual rights in various parts of the world. Look at what was going on in January 2024. Just go back, go to Google what was happening in January 2024. You will see a lot of the social events, social media activism. Now with February 12th, the Kazemi, but there's also an emphasis on creativity and self-expression because we got the Leo energy at play, all right, with this full moon energy. Now, this is also thanks for the full moon in Leo, while you got this aspect of creativity and the themes of getting out there and taking center stage and being loud and expressive is going to be at play. Now, of course, when you deal with this, a lot of people could be experiencing prophetic dreams, downloads of ancient knowledge, sudden flashes of insights about their purpose. This is going to be dealing with reconnection from the past life, knowledge through a technology or science-based spirituality, sacred geometry, quantum consciousness, collective telepathic experiences, sensing global energies and thoughts more profoundly. The mundane level is going to deal with political shifts favoring decentralizing, moving away from rigid structures toward futuristic models of governance. Regardless of whatever y'all think Trump is doing, this is what he has to do. Tell y'all right now, just pay attention to what's going on. He's doing exactly what the cosmos is commanding has to be done. People are just expressions of cosmic energy, but they do have their own free will. And you can really recognize how Trump utilized his own free will, even though he's still at play with divine forces. He can't help it. And nobody can, right? Now, when you deal with disruptions in traditional media as independent voices and truth seekers rise in influence, activism, and also protest for freedom of speech and digital privacy rights, this is going to influence the chakras in the body. Dealing with the Mercury Kazima is going to be powerfully dealing with the third eye, sudden shifts and flashes and higher intelligence, awakening to hidden truths. The third eye is going to awaken right about now. The throat chakra dealing with the Vitashuti is going to be awakening right now. This is going to be dealing with revolutionary ideas and expressing truth and receiving cosmic downloads and all that good shit. All right. Now, this is also going to tie off into how the courage to break through dealing with the solar plexus is going to come into play. And dealing with that throat chakra, expressing yourself, right? The powerhouse, the solar plexus, dealing with the manipulator, dealing with the courage to speak and break out of your comfort zones and use your willpower to share your ideas and shit, right? So now some of the imbalances that some of you may feel is going to deal with an overstimulated third eye. That can deal with a lot of anxiety, racing thoughts, feeling of too connected to cosmic shit. That third eye can make you feel too connected to shit that you don't want to feel and see and shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, all right? Now, this is also going to deal with a blocked throat chakra, difficulty expressing thoughts clearly, fear of rejection or or you expressing your unconventional ideas. It might sound crazy. It might think I'm crazy. You understand? They might think you crazy, but say it any goddamn way. All right. Now, when you dealing with overactive solar plexus, feeling the need to prove yourself and all this shit intellectually or challenge authority, dealing with because a lot of challenges of authority can deal with a lot of overactive solar plexus. You ain't got to prove yourself to no goddamn body, especially when you're not playing a character. The only time people can offend you if you're acting. A motherfucker can't offend you when you're authentic. You ain't got nothing to attack when I'm not playing a character. So if you feel triggered because somebody's saying some shit about you, ask yourself, is it true? Ask yourself, is it real? If it is, own that shit. And when you own it, what's left is they fucking projections of you. That's when I say, fuck them people. All right. So the biological and the biochemical influence, y'all know I have to list this, dealing with the Kazemi energy can directly impact the nervous system. And since Mercury rules the mind and communication pathways, increase dopamine and serotonin production from the intellectual stimulation. So this is going to be an increased pineal gland activation linked to the third eye awakening. So this is going to be brain functions, right? This is going to be ways, like this is going to be dealing with magnesium and L-theanine. This is also ways to calm an overactive mind. Blue lotus. All right, be careful with blue lotus. It is a psychoactive drug, psychoactive herb. Okay. Go to cold is a good one. Help feed the brain. Now, when you're dealing with ways to enhance the focus and without overstimulation, blue lotus and go to cola can be very helpful with that. Now, grounding exercise, walking barefoot, deep breathing, and yoga. Okay. Now, harnessing this energy to its highest potential, here's some practices that you can use. Automatic writing or journaling. That means just put the pen to the paper and let it flow. Don't think about it, just let it flow. It'll be a way to get out your head, and it'll be a way to release energy that wants to move. All right. Now, when you deal with channeling downloads from a higher consciousness and meditation on a cosmic level and using sacred geometry and futuristic symbols and all that good stuff. When you walk into moving into the aspects of honoring yourself and all that good shit, it is a very powerful experience to know yourself. All right. So when you honor, my bad, when you honor that and you truly walk into that aspect, beautiful souls, you'll begin to see the awareness of yourself begin to heighten, and you'll begin to see how just dynamic it is to begin to understand the powers of your individuality when you acclimate these practices to your everyday life. Now, when you're dealing with speaking your truth and harnessing this energy, of course, the mundane, you dealing with the innovation, thinking outside the box. Now's the time to launch a radical idea or a project, even light language or frequency healing, using sound with vibration to enhance. Of course, meditation using sacred geometry or futuristic symbols like Metatron's cube. That means just meditate with that within your mind's eye. All right. If you want to print out a picture of it or something, right? Well, if your mind tries to think about any other thing, get one of these sacred geometrical signs or figures, shapes. Focus on that as you're meditating. Use that for your focus point in your mind's eye as you're going into meditation, all right? So speaking your truth, have a conversation that you've been avoiding to have, but approach it from a higher consciousness. That means don't approach it from a place of being triggered or internalizing and personalizing every goddamn thing. Approaching it from a place of being solution orientated and not feeling like you got to prove anything or something is about you. I often say with those type of conversations, have them with yourself first before you actually choose to have them with another person. That way you'll see the place of contention that you can be coming from. And you can also write it out, all right? Breaking free from limiting structures, whether it's outdated beliefs, social conditioning, or restrictive work or environments and shit like that. Now, the role of the full moon in Leo, now, especially with the Kazemi, this is going to amplify self-expression, personal power, authenticity, while the sun and Mercury and Kazemi and Aquarius fuels intellectual revolutions. Expect sudden, shocking revelations. Uranus and Taurus, T square with the full moon. Also the challenge of traditional ideas and self worth about money and power structures. All right, money gonna be heavily influenced with this Uranus energy, with the T square with this moon, because the moon is currency. Taurus deals with your everyday words, working your everyday needs being met. All this good shit. The moon's in conjunct with Neptune can mean some illusions or deceptions may still be at play. So intuition must be balanced with logic right now. So they don't want to operate devoid of each other, Utilize them to their highest potential by trusting your intuition. And a lot of times that means the logic has to take a back seat, and it won't make sense to after you experience it. All right. Now, with this Kazemi energy in Aquarius during the full moon, a gateway for self realization and personal sovereignty and technology or technological innovations, it is a time to stand bodily in your individuality while contributing to the collective evolution. This is not a moment of insight, right? This is not just a moment of insight. It is a call to action to bring our unique brilliance forward to serve humanity. All right. Now I'm gonna talk about the chakras and this moon, all right, and tell you about the impacts on your nervous system and how these things could be affecting you. With this energy, especially with Pluto opposition and all that good stuff with Mercury and all the other things that's going on, this is going to impact a lot of our psychological and physiological states. The chakras and their activations under this full moon is going to deal with the solar plexus. This is going to be confidence and willpower. So, especially with a Mars retrograde in Cancer, be mindful of what you eat right now. That activation gonna deal with the direction of that directly stimulates this chakra, which governs self-esteem, personal power, and motivation. The opposition to Pluto may bring proud power struggles, while the sextile to Jupiter enhances personal expansion. Some of the physical effects is going to be increased metabolic activity and digestive heat, adrenal gland stimulation, learning, leading to heightened alertness and anxiety, increased dopamine and serotonin release, affecting mood and regulation. Some of the psychological effects, a feeling of empowerment and insecurity, especially when depending on how one may integrate the energy, potential ego battles due to the moon Pluto opposition. And it's also going to be dealing with a push to embrace leadership and self worth. Some of the practices that you can use is going to be breath work, diaphragmatic breathing, breathing from the diaphragm, deep breath in, more long breath out. All right, your breath should be longer going out than it is going in. Regulating more adrenal response. Okay, foods like yellow foods like bananas, turmeric, ginger, and all that good shit. Speaking affirmation like I am confident, powerful, and balanced. Okay, the heart chakra is gonna come into play, which the anahata, love and emotional expression is gonna be dealing with this activation. The moon is going to deeply influence the heart chakra, but the opposition to Mercury and Pluto in Aquarius may create emotional misunderstandings or sudden emotional upheavals. Be mindful of your mood right now. Now, increased heart rate, heart palpitations, and all this good stuff. Feelings of warmth and tightness in the chest, taking deep breaths, not taking these short, shallow breaths that stop in your chest. All right. Taking a deep breath, let it drop into the diaphragm, fill up the stomach, deep breath out, push the stomach into the back, take a nice exhalation, okay? Release some of that tension in your chest and your pectoral area. It's also going to dealing with a potential for heart palpitation due to energetic surges and also psychological effects. You also got some G1 solar flares that are happening right now as well. I ain't want to touch too much on that. It would have been too much just to add to all this other stuff I'm talking about tonight. Now, emotional clarity or overwhelming emotional sensitivity could be going on. Healing old wounds, the moon trine Chiron and Aries. Deepen connection of relationships and realizations. Also reevaluations. Some of the balancing practices, heart open yoga pose like the camel pose, camel pose, the cobra pose, rose tea or cacao for emotional warmth. The mantra is I give and receive love freely. Don't let these experiences make you bitter. Let them make you better. All right. Even if you got to reach back and go put a part of your soul back so you can embrace all these matters of your heart and your love that you have accumulated as you sit with all the matters of your heart for yourself. The throat chakra, going to be dealing with communication and truth, and also the activation of that is going to tie into play. This is going to be dealing with the moon's opposition to Mercury and also in Aquarius, with the highlights of self-expression and challenges, particularly in speaking one's truth versus societal expectations. We all been socially engineered to think and be a certain way, to value certain things. Once you begin to reacclimate or recontrol or redefine your own value systems in this life, it can change a lot of shit. But it can be very challenging because you can be stuck in memory. Venus deals with our regeneration of our cells, and of course, it rules our left brain. Mercury is going to deal with our right brain. So this is our memory. We're all byproducts of memory. Now, you operating on your own accord is where we break free from these influences that we call the zodiacs, and that's why a lot of times the Elohim was called the seven planets. All right, the archetypes. That's why a lot of people in astrology, in religion, view astrology as demonic. because it can be something that can bind you. If you're not living in your own free will, that means these energies are influencing you to the point to where you feel stuck. You feel like a prisoner. So I'm telling you, the energies that want to be expressed, whether you choose to express it is your free will. So I'm just telling you, it's something at play. And there's a reason why if you stop saying yes with your lips and no with your heart, you won't be experiencing some of these things when you speak your truth, and won't be experiencing throat tightness and dryness, potential issues with speech, stumbling over your words. Increased thyroid activity happens when you do that. And you got to clear your throat all the time, every time because you ain't your throat chakra. You ain't speaking your truth a lot. And a lot of times that's how you hear people when they lying, they start stuttering and shit. Their voice change, the pitch change because they lying. People off into studying the body and body language and speech, all this other type of shit. They'll tell you that type of shit, right? Being able to pick up on some certain things when people are lying. That's why I say communication is a true art, because you got two ears and one mouth for a reason. Now, when you're dealing with the psychological effects, this can deal with a heightened urge to speak truth, but a potential for miscommunication. Now, overwhelmed due to mental chatter for the moon and Mercury opposition. Encouragement to break old communication patterns, because that heightened urge to speak truth, your feelings ain't facts. You might have been triggered about some shit that ain't had nothing to do with the shit that you felt. But goddamn it, you to convince yourself you're right. Now you loud and wrong. Now you don't approach somebody and you didn't use your power with discernment because you had a knee-jerk reaction. So be mindful of your mood and how you internalize shit and how quick you think something is about you. Now, when you're dealing with the practices that can come with this, right? This is gonna deal with some chanting. Hum. Remember, the hum is a H-A-U-M. H-H-A-U-M. Hum. So using those mantras, this is good for also the throat chakra as well. That's what this mantra is about. Blueberries, herbal teas for the throat. This would be like things like peppermint, chamomile, slippery elm, things like that, clove. So also eucalyptus, okay? So journaling thoughts before speaking and to improve your clarity. The root chakra is going to be taking a hit right now with stability and grounding. It's going to be feeling the activation because of the moon, square, Uranus, and Taurus. This may cause instability in financial, emotional, and physical security as well. Now, the physical effects are going to deal with the nervous system and digestion, also leading to fight or flight responses. Sleep disturbances due to energetic fluctuations, increased cortisol levels causing tension or restlessness. The psychological effects are going to deal with anxiety, fear of the unknown, or sudden emotional changes, resistance to change, or letting go of control. A cause to strengthen insecurity. Balancing practices, the grounding techniques are going to be walking barefoot in nature, right? This is like an immersion because of the negative ions that the earth can pull from your body. Red vegetables, red root vegetables, beets, radishes, sweet potatoes. The affirmation would be I am safe, secure, and grounded. So when you deal with the kinetic energy that this can be activating, it's going to deal with a lot of the fluctuation between like your nervous system due to the electric tensions of the moon and that square with the fire element of the moon, trine Uranus, and also trine Chiron and Aries. It's also going to deal with the expansive energy of the moon sextile Jupiter. So dealing with the biological and the kinetic effects on the body, increased energy surges in the spine, linked to the Kundalini awakening. So you might be feeling heat generated up your spine, more of an electrical charge moving through your body. Be mindful of this type of energy. All right, deep breathing, because Kundalini can be a very dangerous energy awakening. I've dealt with people with their body overheating and they can't stop it. So this is not an energy to play with. So if you are dealing with this energy, making sure you're doing things to regulate it like Qigong and Tai Chi, that's one of the most powerful ways that I know to utilize the energy and harmonize the energy of Kundalini. All right. So get off into what that looks like. Once again, I do have mentorship programs where we can do 4 weeks of training and things like that. I'm gonna have a 9-week program, all that good stuff. If you want to help cultivate these gifts, we can definitely get off into making that happen. Now, hydration with electrolytes, because this ain't just with water, with electrolytes. This is fruit. This is going to be trace minerals. This is also going to be adding certain things to your water, chlorophyll, sea moss, all this good stuff. Now, this is also a good time for magnet therapy or grounding mats, right? Or bioelectric stabilization. Dealing with electricity are different things that stabilize your electric field. It's going to be very vital to this type of healing that is needed right now. All right. Now, when you're dealing with the biological and biochemical properties that can be affected by this, the moon's influence extends to hormonal and nervous system regulation, particularly adrenal system, cortisol, stress response. Moon Uranus square triggers cortisol spikes, leading to anxiety. Now, that's because of the energy of Uranus dealing with the brain and the moon dealing with the fluids of the body and the pituitary and all this good shit. And that's dealing with your cortisol and how it's regulated through the blood. Okay. So dealing with regulating the blood, high blood pressure, blood spikes, sudden headaches. A lot of y'all just need salt. If you get some good good salt, not this synthesized bleached ass salt, processed salt. Get some sea salt, some Celtic salt. Put that in some hot water. You have a headache, drink a quick shot of that. That can also help you out. And of course, when you're dealing with some of the practices, doing adaptogen herbs like ashwagandha, that's why people are in love with ashwagandha right now, because it helps to regulate cortisol levels, rhodiola. Also, cooling breath work like sitai pranayama, which is very indicative of nostril breathing. So holding one finger down on one nostril, breathing in and out of that nostril for about 2 minutes, holding down on the other side of the nostril, breathing in and out of that for about another 2 minutes. All right. So being very mindful of those practices to regulate those parts of yourself. All right. Now the pineal gland and also dealing with melatonin production, sleep pattern, overreaction of the solar plexus. That's what it's going to deal with. This disrupt the melatonin release. So this is going to deal with mental overactivity. The moon and Mercury opposition may cause insomnia. So a lot of y'all may be feeling like you're not sleeping. I'm telling you, the cosmos is working on your ass because you got to drop some shit. Your emotions, your cortisol level, your chemicals are all over the place. So you need some magnesium. You need some chamomile for relaxation. And also avoiding blue light before sleep. That's your phone, your TV, your laptop. That blue light is throwing off your circadian rhythm. This is fucking with your serotonin and your dopamine levels. This is also going to deal with your mood regulation. This is very indicative of the moon sextile Jupiter because it boosts serotonin. Because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which rules the sacrum bone, which rules the aspect of the movement of the vagus nerve, which deals with the amino acids in your body. B12, AC1 levels, CH1 levels, all this type of shit, right? So all these different things gonna deal with mood stimulation and how you can be dealing with this fluctuation in your sleep cycles and dopamine and all this good shit. So the moon opposite Pluto can cause emotional strains, especially when you're dealing with some of these enhancing your optimism. So sun exposure, can move, and movement can deal with a dopamine boost. Tryptophan rich foods like nuts and seeds and dark chocolate, even turkey if you like meat, okay, because turkey can give you tryptophan as well. Now, when you're dealing with the nervous system regulation, balancing energy, can also deal with this full moon and how you can kind of use some of these practices that I put in here for you to help regulate this sympathetic nerve or this fight or flight or the parasympathetic nerve, which deals with rest and digest. The nervous system requiring intentional regulation. Methods for energy balancing and nervous system regulation. So this is going to deal with the Pavoga breathing, all right, Palavigo breathing. Now this is toning. So this is also humming and singing, or the vagus nerve, managing the calm anxiety. Tapping can come with this as well. This is also going to deal with somatic practices. This is also the tapping, the emotional freedom. It's kind of what EFT equals, emotional freedom technique. All right, to release tension. Shaking exercises, discharge energy, especially with kinetic energy moving through your body. Sacred rituals for aligning with this. Of course, there are some counters, of course, with yellow and gold amplifying that confidence and all that good stuff. Using crystals like jade and rose quartz to help out. Now, this full moon will be a very powerful time for us to bring forth a dynamic shift in confidence, self-expression, and transformation. However, with this challenging aspects, it may cause mental and emotional and psychological fluctuations. I had to touch on that. All right. I just don't want y'all to feel like you're crazy. Okay. What you feeling is it's gonna pass, right? A lot of these trends is activating, and as you can see, now you know what needs to be released. You can use this full moon energy to do so. So by understanding the chakra activations and the kinetic energy and the influences and the biochemical effects, one can navigate this period with clarity, balance, and empowerment. Now, here's a ritual for you. All right. And of course, when you read over this ritual, I put this together, but if there's something here that you want to take away or you want to add, make sure you do that for yourself. All right. This is going to be about healing the nurturing and nurturing the inner child, strengthening self love and confidence, releasing self doubt and fear of being seen. Also, the theme is going to be aligning with your heart's true desires. So, as you see, I'm always going to deal with you clearing a sacred space. Find a quiet space, safe place by a window, under the moonlight, candles that you can light. Even if you don't have these candles on hand tonight, light a candle in your mind. Use the power of your visualization, your imagination with the North Node and Pisces available. You can use a gold candle, pink candle. If you don't have them tonight, you can still utilize this energy tomorrow night. Okay? So don't be like if you don't have it tonight. I know it's getting late, for some of you on the East Coast, it could be 11 o'clock. All right, getting close to that. So just be mindful that you don't have to have all of this tonight. You can get some of this tomorrow if you want to invoke or if you want to utilize this ritual, okay? So some of the herbs, of course, some of the crystals, citrine and all that good stuff. This is going to promote grounding and energy amplification. Citrine, rose quartz, tiger's eye, and of course, you can see I got some of the keywords associated with these crystals, as I always do. Now, the herbs and essential oils are always going to be here as well. You can dress your candles with them or sprinkle them inside of a candle if you're having a 7-day candle. You can anoint yourself with them if you like. Okay. Now, water and our element is going to be dealing with these essential oils: rose petals, cinnamon, chamomile, lavender, all right, frankincense essential oil. All these have metaphysical properties. Herbs not only have a healing property, they have a spiritual property as well. All right. So, a bowl of water symbolizing emotional purification, a small mirror to reflect on self-love, empowerment, a notebook and a pen for journaling. I got some journaling prompts in here for you, of course, as always. All right, now here's a guided meditation where you can take through yourself, right? Releasing all self-doubt, all that good stuff, right? Opening yourself up to your heart, taking 3 deep breaths, inhaling confidence, exhaling old wounds. All right, inhale confidence. Exhale old wounds. All right. Put your hand on your heart while you're doing this. You can repeat that many times as you need to. If you break down crying while you're doing it, that means you're doing some good shit and your heart is in it. Okay. So don't be afraid to cry. Some of y'all might done turn into a pillar of salt around this motherfucker or some shit. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with the inner child, here's some more techniques, right? So holding that rose course. So these some techniques that I put in here for you. Holding the mirror and gazing to your own eye. These are some of the practices, not only that I've given out, but also that I've tried myself as well. Making sure that you use some of this candle magic, especially for a lot of y'all with North Node and Pisces. It's gonna be very influential for you to utilize, right? So being able to use the power of magic and the power of your wand and all that good shit is gonna be very indicative with people with a North Node and Pisces. So remember, you got this ritual to look back on. There's one more thing I wanted to touch on before I let y'all go, and this will be the Leo and the Sphinx, okay? Because I think this is very relevant to the times that we're in, especially as we move more off into this energy of Virgo and the South Node, and also with the North Node in Pisces, and especially very influential with this Leo full moon. Now, the mystical connection between Virgo and Leo and the Great Sphinx of Kemet. The Great Sphinx of Giza, right? One of the most enigmatic in the ancient monuments of Kemet, ancient Egypt, holds deep astrological and spiritual significance. And the cosmic significance is alignment and structure, and the symbolism reveal a profound connection between Virgo, Leo, and Orion's belt, serving as a bridge between the physical and celestial realms. The Sphinx is a symbol of Leo and the Virgo connection, physical and astrological representation is what I want to break down here, dealing with Sphinx being about. I know y'all done heard me say this before, and I'm gonna tell you, I learned this from Ashawat Kawazi, and I had a sit down with him. And he told me about this, and it blew my mind, and I've been so fascinated with it ever since. And it was about 7 years ago that I'm thinking about it, right? But when you're dealing with the Sphinx being the body and all that good stuff and being with the face and the head of the human in Virgo, and this also represents the transition. And also Professor Kaba, me and him had a conversation about this as well. He teaches about this, about spirituality before religion in his book. All right. So the Sphinx is the body of Leo and the face of the human Virgo. This represents the tradition from Leo, the primal solar force, to Virgo, refined earthly wisdom in the zodiac. Now, in Kemetic cosmology, this is the transition from divine kingship, Leo, to spiritual servitude, Virgo. I want y'all to really pay attention to your Virgo and your Leo placements in your chart. All right. This is the mythology behind this energy, but it also can be divine wisdom if you embrace it. Where one serves humanity with wisdom. The spiritual meaning, the Sphinx represents the balance of power, Leo, and the intellects of Virgo. Now, it symbolizes self-mastery, uniting the heart, Leo, ruled by the sun, and the mind, Virgo, ruled by Mercury. It reflects, now, don't forget, Mercury is in a Cazimi right now. This is why I knew this is so relevant. I'm telling you, this is going to be pushing us into Virgo season. Put the work down right now. I'm telling you about harvest season, man. All of us should be coming back talking about what's going to happen. All right? So reflect the journey of the lower self and the ego into the higher self, divine wisdom. So some of the historical and cosmic alignment, the Sphinx faces directly east, aligned with the rising sun and the spring equinox, emphasizing the solar Leo connection. It is thought to be at least 12,000 years old, which aligns with the time of the age of where Leo, Pluto and Leo, all right, or the age of Leo, okay, linking to the constellations. A lot of these monuments that we see are resurrected are directly in alignment with the ages and the signs of the times. Buddha statues are Pluto and Gemini, the age of Gemini. All right, this just show you feminine deities is the age of Cancer, Pluto and Cancer. So I'm just showing you now, not only with the age of Cancer being Pluto and Cancer, Pluto and Gemini, this is also, remember, when the sun rises and it rises in that constellation, this marks the new dawn of an age. All right. So you can take your sun gazing app, your stargazing app, go outside in the sun when the sun rises and see what constellation the sun rises in. That lets you know what age we're in. Okay. So when you're dealing with the connection to the Orion's belt and the pyramids, the astronomical alignment, the pyramid, the three pyramids of Giza perfectly align with Orion's belt, suggesting a connection between the Sphinx and Orion. So when you're dealing with this cosmology and a celestial pathway where the soul, the Ba, ascends from earthly existence, Virgo, to divine consciousness, Leo, right? Now the duality of Leo and Virgo in the stars, Leo, the king, the heart, the strength. Virgo, the priestess, the healer and wisdom. That's why Virgo is the kitchen witch. You understand? So the wisdom of Virgo, the sun was born of a virgin, right? The moon was in Virgo, the sun was in Pisces. The polarity of North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo happening right now. So when you're dealing with the priestess and the healer and the king, right, and all this type of shit, you can't talk Virgo without talking Leo. They have to go together. Now, this balance is reflected in the pyramids and the Sphinx because it represents the bridge between Leo's divine rulership, Earth, right, and Earth, Virgo, service and work. So when you're dealing with real life reflections and the cosmic connection and spiritual and personal growth, from ego to purpose in real life, individuals often go through a transformation where they often seek first power and recognition in Leo before realizing their purpose to serve and heal others, Virgo. See, it's like the ego, we got to learn what it's like to be selfish before we learn what it's like to be selfless. A person who is a natural leader, Leo energy, may later feel called to become a teacher, healer, or a mentor. God damn it, I'm a living expression of it with Jupiter and Leo. That's Virgo energy because my North Node is in Virgo. Okay? Now, alignment with the heart and Leo, mind, Virgo. The Leo Virgo shift asks us to balance passions with practicality. Examples: a musician, Leo, creative expression, may use their talents to heal others through sound therapy, Virgo, service, and healing. So you see how they both go together? You see how when I was saying earlier, when you start to build service, when you start to create, the service comes naturally. Now, if you be in a service, that means somebody gonna pay for your service. And when somebody know that your heart is in something, they don't give a damn how much they pay for it. Do you know how many people I done told, man, this guy be like, you know what, I'm gonna send you extra because that's how much I value it. And with that being said, anybody want to send me a donation, my cash app is Sensei9. All right, $ Sensei9. If you are feeling generous and you want to send a donation, all right, you can definitely do that. All right. And like I like to say, because I learned with this energy, the fact that a currency exchange is so beautiful. Because when you embrace the power that somebody sent you something that they really didn't have to give. I done said before, and y'all done heard me say this on Clubhouse. Somebody sends you $5 and they know damn well you know that they didn't have it to give, but they had it on their heart to give it to you. That currency exchange can make your ass cry. You giving somebody genuinely something from the heart, and they like, man, you didn't have to do this. Oh my God, oh my God. They like, man, it was just $20, but still, you don't know how much this means to me. You don't know how much a currency exchange can change somebody's life, especially when people have an issue with receiving. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with reflecting on this cosmic connection, and also when you're dealing with this service and being of work and the spiritual and the personal growth, from ego to purpose. In real life, individuals often go through a transformation where they first must seek power and recognition, Leo, before realizing their divine purpose and service to other, Virgo. Like a person who's a natural healer, Leo, may feel later to call to be that teacher or that mentor, aligning with the heart and Leo, mind and Virgo. The Virgo shifts as a balance is passion with practicality, right? Dealing with this musician energy. Then Orion's belt and the soul's journey in commission thought. The pyramids align with Orion were strategies, right, for the stars or a soul's journey to higher realms. For example, a person might experience a spiritual awakening, realizing their material success, Leo, must be balanced with deeper meaning and purpose with Virgo. Virgo is about bringing heaven to earth, all right? Now, this is why the mundane and spiritual aspects will deal with a lot of the earthly aspects of Leo governs leadership and self-expression and confidence. Virgo governs discipline, health, and service to others. Together, they represent the ideal balance between personal ambition and collective responsibility. This connection this connection is seen in careers like doctors, spiritual teachers, life coaches, and artists who use their gifts to inspire others. So some of the spiritual aspects of Leo represents the soul of king, the divine spark within us. Virgo represents the sacred servant, the ability to refine and purify the soul. The Sphinx invited the journey of self-realization, showing that true power is not dominance, but mastery of the self. You know, when you talking about doing shit that's gonna feel like it's sacrificing you, ain't that what the sun does? Right? Even going across the crooks or the southern crooks as it goes into this aspects of winter, as it's now making its place back through its resurrection, as we come into the spring, as it's about to spring forth, it's about to be reborn. We're about to have longer days and shorter nights. So don't get it twisted that this is happening every time that we go through a shift. So this is why Mars is astrological age, and it deals with the aspect of Virgo and Leo coming together, with you having control over these aspects of your animalistic nature and self-mastery exercise. Here's some meditations and all that good stuff that you can embrace, all right, and embracing the power of dealing with the heart and the mind coherence, the Leo, the heart chakra, the Anahata, the power of your creativity, the throat chakra, of course. And of course, when you're dealing with the Sphinx, it's more of an ancient momentum. Its symbolism is going to be the human journey, right? And it's going to be dealing with from primal instinct to the soul and a higher wisdom in Virgo. It teaches that true power is not about dominance, but inner mastery and the ability to serve higher, the greater whole. By understanding its connection to Orion's belt, we see that the universe provides a celestial blueprint for our personal and collective evolution. The question, the question of the Sphinx is, and it asks us dealing with this riddle, this ancient riddle of the Sphinx. Now I'm gonna end this with this. Who are you truly and how? I know that's a riddle for you to sit with. Okay. Who are you truly and how? So with that being said, I appreciate you all. And right now, I open up the floor for any questions or anything that anybody wants to ask or add.
I have something to add. I don't know if you can hear me though.
Now, here you go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. So the irony is, I'm a Virgo, and my daughter, she always calls me a witch, and I don't know where she got this inkling from, but you've been talking to me this whole time because my South Node is in Leo, and I'm a Virgo sun, and recently, before this whole full moon even, or no, I'm gonna just say before I was informed of what this full moon means. I'm a nurse, and I don't hate my job. I just don't like where I am in it. And I was driving in the car the other day, and I said to myself, you know what? I said I'm gonna start sharing myself, start sharing my gifts, start speaking, start sharing my writings, start sharing my thoughts. And for a long period of time, I was in a space of being afraid. I was in fear of what people would say and how they would feel. And now I'm just like, I don't even care. I don't even care. And I'm just ready. Like the energy within me is just like I'm ready. I'm ready to share myself, share this space, and my tribe will align.
Now go ahead.
Well, that was pretty much it. But I definitely the energy within me is aligning as to what's astrologically happening right now, and just facing the fears and doing all the things that I've been afraid to do. And it's like once I accomplish them, I feel empowered. And it's like for once, or for the first time in my life, whatever I'm afraid of doing, and once I accomplish it, I feel safe within myself. Mhm. And I don't well, outside of South Node, I have my Leo placement is in Venus, 17 degrees. And I just realized that whatever, as you were talking and sharing where Leo's in our chart, but outside of my South Node, I never paid attention to where Leo even played a part in my chart.
Now you
Well,
see,
Wizzy,
right?
I
So now does
do.
it make sense to you?
It does. It does. It's in my
Interesting.
Venus. And even though my
Real.
Venus is in Libra, um, when you were talking about how it has everything to do with like finances and resources and family, and that's been a very highlighted part of my life at this point.
No, that's good shit. And also how you do parent your children. And a lot of times when we end up having a lot of Leo placements, I tell people when it deals with the matters of your children, like what you can witness is your children becoming your biggest cheerleaders.
Mm,
You know?
I agree. I agree.
So I'm glad it resonates with you, beloved. I'm glad you got some clarity from tonight.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like to ask
Anybody else?
really quick,
Oh
please.
yeah, what's up, Leo? And now it's over with. Talk to me, Leo. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I'm a Leo son.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just listening to the information, taking notes. I have more clarity on some things, but the feeling that I had been feeling for a while, like especially after I read one of your posts, I think it was Monday. You posted something about a feeling like you wanna, like it's stuff you have to do, it's something that you have to do, and it's this calling, it's something inside of you that just wants to just break free. And that's how I've been feeling for a long time. And I'm associating that with the type of work that I'm in. Like I know I don't want to keep doing this forever. I've tried before to break out of the matrix, if you want to put it like that, and work for myself, but it didn't really work out for me. I guess the timing wasn't right, but I am noticing more synchronicities with things right now that's pushing me. Like it's something inside of me I just get so frustrated with myself thinking about the time that I've lost, but I can't keep dwelling on that. I'm getting out of my comfort zone of being more reserved and complacent with the way I generate money. Because it's easy for me to go to work and work overtime, but I hate it there. It's not my passion, it's not what I'm supposed to do. And I just really can't really pinpoint that yet, but I guess you could say I got ideas of what I want to do. I just don't have the finances yet. So I'm thinking, am I supposed to just get out there? Because I've been told I'm supposed to be in front of the camera. I'm not supposed to be in the background. So if I switch it up, are things gonna come together for me?
You know if no
It's in Aries.
in what house?
I don't know.
Well, automatically, I'm gonna just give you some general themes around it. And you said you were Leo with a North Node and Aries. So that puts your South Node in Libra.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving partnerships and things behind, but only dealing with valuable reciprocal relationships that help propel you off into new innovative and new things, new experiences, but having to trust yourself going into those. Because as an Aries energy, as a Leo want to look good while they doing it, right? Aries will be like, shit, I just want to go out of town, right? I just want to do it. Leo, like, I ain't got the clothes, I ain't got the money, I ain't got all these things to go about it the way I want to do it. Aries and Sagittarius more like you tripping, you thinking about it too much. You think you need this, you think you need that. All you need is your willpower. All you need is your drive. All you need to do is show up for it. Fire signs are all about when preparation meets opportunity. But because of the fire signs, a lot of times we're not mentally prepared for what we move into. But it makes sense after you go through the shit.
Mhm.
Now, when you letting go of old ways of doing things and trying to balance everything the fuck out, Aries saying, nah, be selfish. What is the most selfish thing you can do right now?
You want me to answer that seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Just what I've been desiring to do is just leave everybody
You
and
see?
everything and go somewhere else and start over.
But guess what that requires with Leo? The people you are leaving behind, you will never leave. So that requires when you stepping into authenticity and honesty, that means you're gonna have to be honest with them people and have some heartfelt conversation before you take off. So you don't want to just up and run like a fire sign. This is not an escapism. But if I deal with the things I'm supposed to deal with here and dot the I's, cross the T's, be honest with myself, be authentic in my communication, you get what I'm saying? I can walk away from old patterns, old cycles. That's what I want to leave behind. It ain't the people. It's the old you you're shedding. The old you that's connected to these relationships, the old pride. It's a pride. You know what happens when the young cub has to go out on their own as a new lioness and go create her own family? Her mama got to push her out. You know, the mama got to push the boy cub out because you might eat my cubs when you come in here. So I'm just telling you about the animalistic nature. Sometimes we want to run free because we want our own territory. And as a Leo, a lioness, that's huge for you. I want my own family. I want my own pride. I want my own everything. And that means you might have to create it yourself. Aries, North Node. So
Okay.
whatever family dynamics, relationship dynamics, values, and all of that, yeah, you're gonna have to have the courage to leave all of that behind and go forward your own path in this life. That's what it can feel like.
Right. I started in 2017 when I left the church.
7 years. I told you that 7 year cycle. Did you hear me talk about that earlier?
Yeah.
Now you in this 8th year, right? So a lot of us are ending 7 year cycles right now. So all the work you've done, just trust yourself more as you go into it. Don't be I would say don't move too quick with that Aries energy. Be mindful. All right. Don't move too fiery. All right. How old are you now?
I can't tell you all that.
Oh, okay. Well, probably you're gonna be in a progression year of a Virgo.
No, I'm 47.
Oh yeah, you're in a Virgo progression year. You're in a magical year. 47 is a magical year because now the outer planets come into play. So it's
Yeah.
time to trust yourself and surrender to something greater than you and all that good stuff. But what is it you truly want to do in your heart? Leo gonna always ask you that. And have fun with it. Play with it.
And losing my dad has helped push me to this too. He was like, losing him was the catalyst to make me realize I gotta get out of this mode. I gotta switch it up.
Now you see how Leos connect to the father, how I said earlier.
Yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
my condolences to you, beloved. My father transitioned last year, now 2 years ago, and it was right around Virgo and Leo season.
I lost him in December. He was a Scorpio.
Oh yeah, so you probably lost him what during Sagittarius season?
It was last month. Oh well, December.
It was
Yep.
the end of December or the middle.
December 17th.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, you was right up in there. So yeah, it was very spiritual for you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that some other time, but
All right,
gotta
beloved.
do it for the night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate meeting your tribe too.
Nah, already. I know I'm pretty. I know everybody's, feeling you right now. It's a heartfelt night, so I'm pretty sure some people like, oh, so, so nah, good shit. Gratitude for you sharing, beloved.
Thank you.
Hey, Sensei.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, man. I have to give gratitude to you and to everybody who also spoke and shared. Like, I was eager to like ask questions and dig deeper and everything like that earlier when you brought up the opportunities, but how you were flowing and everything like that, and how I was just digesting everything. A lot of it answered the questions that I had and everything like that, and that was kind of been kind of like a thirst that I've been waiting to get quenched and everything like that.
That big Leo energy over there.
And my boy over here.
Look at that.
But whatchamacallit, I'm not too deep into reading the charts. Like, I have a picture of mine and everything like that, but I really don't know how to identify it too much. I didn't know if you like, maybe if I was able to send it to you now, if you could help me like kind of identify what I'm seeing with what you mentioned with the Virgo and the Leo part.
Okay, yeah, we can do that real quick. Did you see my number in the chat?
Yeah, I just sent it to you right now.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me look at this here. Let's see. All right. Now, do you want me to share it or?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let me share his chart here, y'all. 1 second here. All right. Now, for you, when you understand the symbolism of the chart, which might be a lot to understand right now, but kind of down here at this bottom part is what you can kind of look at to help you understand your chart here, not so much as the wheel. So as you can see, you see your sun down here. All right,
Yeah.
that symbolism is Gemini. Your moon is in Leo.
Okay.
So you have a Leo moon. All right. Now that means your Leo moon is in the house of Virgo because it says 6th house right here. Okay.
Okay.
So that means that this is very connected to your mom. A lot of this shit was talking about your mama. Even the chores and shit that you had to do as a child, being criticized and, a lot of expectations. It was a lot of shit you had to prove, it seemed like, when you was a child. All right. Now you could have been very active when you was a child, especially with all this Leo Gemini energy. You put a try in the goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you could be very courageous. Whatever you thought, you damn near did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this boy here try anything. But if you felt good about it, because your son is in the 4th house. All right. So that's the Cancer energy. So that's a strong connection to the mom. All right. And because that just means that now, even with the dad, the communication and the nurturing aspects with dad. All right. Now, mom could have been more like ruling and telling you what to do and chores and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you deal with the aspects of what else you got going on here. Okay, your Mars, that is in Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Let me see something here. Now, you also going to have, because what is in your 5th house? And let me see what you got in the 5th house right here. All right, your Cancer is in Venus in the 5th house. That's your Leo energy. You got Uranus and Aquarius in the 12th house. You got Neptune and Capricorn in the 12th house. So a lot of this Pisces energy for you is in your 12th house. You don't really have any heavy Pisces placements in your chart, but your 12th house is filled with outer planets. So that'll mean a lot of spiritual shit, religious, like you're rebelling against a lot of belief systems and practices that the family could have had. Now, when it comes to how you parent, your children have been a huge catalyst. You being a father has been very transformative in your life, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is also going to deal with the aspects of your North Node, and this is going to be in the aspects of Virgo. No, this is Scorpio. So this is going to be bringing in a lot of when it comes to the challenges that you deal with. Let me see what you, because you're in Pluto and Sagittarius generation. So issues around being overly critical or overly analytical of yourself, right? Even issues around shared resources and things like this, right? Because having to heal relationship dynamics and how you look at fair things and toxic situations, making sure you don't remain a people pleaser. Do what makes you happy right now, right? Even when it comes to family dynamics, it could be very balancing, like a balancing act of what you desire versus what everybody else wants from you, the story of your life type shit. All right. So cultivating practices that kind of use your creativity and fuel the life that you want to create, but doing things that make you feel good. You could be very into counseling, children's books. You could be wanting to do something around nonprofit, around dealing with family dynamics and shit like that.
Right.
You could be very into even writing music or poetry and shit. Okay. So exploring your creative sides and let your creative talent shine and putting some routines around what generates that, especially with your North Node here,
Right.
it'll be a very good time for you to do that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an artist too. So like what you were
Oh
saying
yeah.
at the beginning of the John, like I have my animated series, Marijuana Man, that I've been putting together. And
See,
and that's like all about, like just learning and things like that, like plant medicines and the origins of drugs. And when you were
that's that
talking about
Virgo.
earlier, just like, saying like, because I've been putting so much work and like so much invested so much time into it, but then, becoming a father, taking on this time and changing careers and such like that, hitting that bump into my life where I had 2 months out where I was just, out of work, trying to find something to shake. But now I'm an electrician now and everything like that. And then when you start talking about like energies and like I'm in class right now as an apprenticeship, and all we talk about is atoms and the transfers of energies and such like that. And
Look at all these. Listen,
you
you see
feel
this symbol right here?
me?
You see that M looking symbol with Mars?
Uh-huh.
And you see that M looking symbol with your North Node?
Right.
You see Lilith there, your vertex there? All that's
Yeah.
Virgo energy, bro.
Man.
All that sixth house energy. And you see the number 6 with your moon here? All
Right.
right. Now, what we do in the sixth house reveals the 12th. So, what you do every day can literally create your reality, and you can bring new innovative ways to help heal humanity in the areas of the nervous system, where Uranus and Aquarius, new innovative ways to tap in and hack the system, technology, Uranus and Aquarius in the 12th house, using it for spiritual growth and development, bro.
Hmm.
So everything you doing is in alignment. Just keep doing what you doing. And keep evolving as a parent and being more loving and more receptive to the needs of your children along the way, and it'll help heal your inner child.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
That vibes real well.
Yes, sir, bro.
Man, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Much respect and much love, man. That definitely felt good, man. This whole experience, I'm glad that saying the spirit just just the vibe and everything like that brought me to this experience tonight. So yeah, man, it's been touching, yo.
Gratitude, brother. Anybody else got any questions?
No questions. Just want to say gratitude. Thank you.
What's up, Danielle?
What's up? Oh, and I do want to show my appreciation for you because I do want to make a custom bracelet with you for you. So when you get time, shoot me your info so I can totally customize it to you. Because yeah, you really helped me a lot as I am. Just everybody did throughout all day today in Diamond's room or whoever's room it is now. But yeah, it was very profound today. It's so funny because, like I mentioned, I'm getting ready to. I put in my resignation from a 9 to 5. May 31st is my last day. And the young lady that spoke earlier, I definitely also can relate to her because I'm on the cusp of um, Virgo, Leo. August 27th is my birthday. And, my son sits in the eighth house. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Saturn is the eighth house. So this has been a big, I really feel, I really feel all the energies right now. And I really did feel like I was really going crazy. I have been feeling like I'm going crazy, but I know it's all part of the process because as I was walking into our HR building, Um, I have never seen this. Now I do kind of live out in the rural area, but um a huge black vulture was chilling on the building. Like there's like a parapet wall, like a knee wall, and it was just chilling. It wasn't, and I was like, I'm sitting here scratching my head, and this was after, I was listening to Diamond, and I even set the intention of like, okay, you guys, I really need your help. I kind of feel like I'm going crazy, and I just need you to show me the way. Like, is this the big leap to take? Because I would be lying to y'all if I didn't say, like, I am nervous. You see me inching little and little more, little more, little more. But, the May 31st is the big day of really like, there's no turning back, ma'am. And I just want to say thank you, because thank you to all of y'all, because y'all really are helping me, just bring in that clarity and make those steps. So gratitude, thank you for your generosity. Much love to all of y'all, but thank you.
No, thank you too, Danielle. Because everything you spoke about is literally where we are as a collective, and just to see that everybody's resonating with this shit. And remember, I said earlier, we'll see the results of this around May, like, and even around Leo season. It's like everybody's saying around May,
You
around
did.
where we go. So,
Yep.
because around May we're gonna be coming into what Gemini season. You know what I'm saying? So, dealing with Jupiter and Gemini, that's the reason why I would talk about that. And plus, Uranus will be shifting, all right, into a Gemini energy around that time.
And my
So a lot of
Jupiter is
this,
in Gemini.
yeah, and then Jupiter just
In
went
the fifth
direct.
house.
Yeah, and it went direct in Gemini. So,
There
yeah,
we go.
good shit. Anybody else? Oh, who would just send me a message? Hold on. Okay, Shabata, you said do yours. All right, hold on. I got you 1 second here. All right, we got somebody else want to look at their chart real quick. All right, let me look at this here. All right, so Shabata, what you dealing with here? Fifth house placements. You got yours. Oh man, let me see. Okay, you got Jupiter there, so you might as well have Jupiter and Leo, but your relationships. Now, this can be a lot of children. And I don't know if you got multiple relationships going on here, but definitely you're gonna have to be honest about some relationship shit you got going on, or honest with the matters of your heart. You got Chiron and Leo in the third house, so you definitely going through some communication things around the desires of your heart. If you are dealing with your parents right now, communication styles, or your children, if you have any. All right. Which let me see something. Let me see if you got some kids here. Oh yeah, you got some babies. How many children you got? You heard somebody? You want to come off your mic?
I have two girls,
You got two girls? Uh-huh. I'm looking at it, right? Cause now, how old are they?
3 and 7 months.
3 and 7 months. Newborns. I knew it had to be young. This parenting has changed your life, huh?
A lot, a whole lot.
It's been very challenging for you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's growing you spiritually. I heard the beloved Diamond say something earlier today, and as a feminine principle, it resonated because with you trying to work out like balancing your work life and parenting is gonna be a challenge throughout your life. Cause imagine other people putting down their dreams and the matters of their heart because they became a mama. Like this happening now. This can also deal with the fact that you are a Pisces sun sign in the 10th house. This can bring a connection with your father in this way. And now with your North Node being in Sagittarius and your South Node in Gemini, like you having to trust your higher self, especially in the matters of relationships. So even with your Saturn being over here, this can bring about a lot of change because your Saturn is in Aquarius. A lot of weird shit going on with men in your life. A break, like quick, sudden endings in relationships and shit. All right. It's kind of going to be in conjunct with your Chiron. So this can be like disruptions in communication. The moment you thinking that you done found the one. Are you and the father of your children still together?
We are married.
Huh?
Yes, married.
You say y'all just moved?
We're married.
Y'all married. Okay. Now, this could have been like meeting the love of your life. Now, what is his sign?
He is a Leo.
Well, Leo, see, I told you meeting the love of your life. Jupiter in the fifth house, y'all created a family, but you were like, I ain't think it was gonna have to come with all this shit. Okay, like so it's gonna come with some challenges around you nurturing and being a Pisces sun sign, you represent unconditional love. So with the matters of you want to go to school, you want to learn, you might want to do certain things, and now it can feel like you got these children, you can't live out your wildest dreams. But I'm gonna tell you that it's not about them feeling like a burden. It's about knowing that this is a contract. You made a choice to have these children. So if you're dealing with somebody, you have to let your spouse support you right now. And it might be hard for you to do. You get what I'm saying? Because you got so much shit you want to do on your own. Pisces, I don't trust. I don't know, especially in the 10th house. Like it might not be looking up right now. So if it's some financial things going on and things like that, a lot of trust, and y'all gonna have to create some shit together here, right? You're gonna have to be a lot of support system for him. Leo men need a lot of stroking of the ego. So if he go to going through things and his pride is hurt and things like that, let him know it's temporary. Just keep creating. Tell him to keep having that courage. You're gonna have to use a lot of. It's like you encourage him anyway. You're a natural encourager for him. But when you're dealing with your Pisces energy, you're gonna have to surrender to something greater than your own understanding. And a lot of you want to work from home and all that kind of stuff because your moon is in Virgo. You can literally work from home, creating healing products, all this type of stuff. So when you use your creativity, because even if you're in the finances or any type of work like that, into helping balance out the books, or if you want to write or anything that's kind of sparking your creativity, you got a lot of hobbies going on there, right? Especially you got a Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn. You can literally be into helping people transform, right? Using your creative arts and the way you can kind of express your words and how you are muse to people, how you spark creativity in people, right? You can literally be out into planning parties and website designing and all type of shit. So use your gifts. Don't limit yourself, right? And that's gonna be very challenging because you could be going through postpartum right now, all right? Like dealing with coming into being a new mother and all the challenges of that, the emotional things, it can feel like it's drowning you. And I'm gonna tell you, with your Neptune and goddamn it, your Uranus, you could be feeling weird, like you really want to say fuck them kids, okay? Like you might be feeling like fuck this whole marriage and shit right now, or what I the fucking signed up for. You know what I'm saying? But hey, have the courage and the willpower to communicate from an authentic place. With your Chiron and Leo in the third house, you communicating from the matters of your heart can be very challenging for you. You can always feel like you've been fighting to be seen, fighting to be heard, fighting to be understood, fighting to be loved, fight, 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 fight. But it's all in your head, right? So stop being so dramatic. Don't over exaggerate certain things. Don't look at certain things. Don't be so overly critical, overly analytical of yourself as a mother. Give yourself grace as a mother. You are new and fresh as a mother. Your oldest child is what? 7 months old?
3.
3 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how many years you have at being a mother. Don't measure yourself by somebody else's standards of what it means to being a mama. Don't beat yourself up by whatever criticism and analyzing that has been done with your mother. Because a lot of people could be overly critical and analytical of your mother, but your mama can do no wrong in your eyes. But don't beat yourself up the way your mama probably did around parenting, right? You just keep showing up because you were born during a full moon, okay? Because your sun is in Pisces and your moon is in Virgo. So automatically you were born during a full moon. So these full moons could be illuminating a lot of your mental shit, okay? So just be mindful, letting go of perfectionism. Don't be trying to do everything perfect. Trust your intuition. Even if you're into healing and things like that, modalities of that, nursing, any type of field of that energy, you can definitely be a hell of a healer, a counselor. All right. But a lot of this you might have to give to yourself at this point in your life. So love on yourself. Show them children what it looks like, okay, to be an embodiment of love and all that good shit. Be straightforward with your communication. It'll bring about a lot of more harmonious experiences in your relationship. All right, they help you out. You there?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, beloved. All right, anybody else? You working to become a healer? Yeah, okay. Now you are. You doing it. All right. So you're in the midst of it. You're in the thick of it. Okay. Anybody else got any questions?
Hey, Sensei.
What up, Lauren? What it do, beloved? Hey, what's the deal, Lauren?
Yes, what's going on?
Feeling, beloved.
Oh man, what? I'm so glad that Spirit led me to my email right on time that I was able to pop in and just to embrace all this energy. Everybody is so in alignment. Some questions were already answered. So I'm just so thankful for everyone just being open and fluid and just letting their heart speak. Much gratitude.
Now I appreciate you popping in, Lauren, because I didn't get the text you and let you know I sent the email, but I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, see, we there.
You better goddamn know it.
Right. And I'm up. But yeah, I might is it more so a question? Yeah, I guess it's a question. I have been, with Leo being all about the heart and all of the things and expressing, have been doing my best with not holding my tongue so much and speaking with my heart. However, going back to what you were talking about in the beginning with being very reserved because of past rejections and fear of rejection. And I have been, I've been practicing sober for a couple weeks now. So my dreams are resonating more intensely and I'm remembering them. And yeah, and it's like when things are coming through, I want to share and speak them. However, I'm having this challenge where it's like, was I having that dream just for myself, or is it that opportunity or space to work through something with, either a particular person, or does that make sense?
Now it made perfect sense. You know, a lot of times it's gauging how did you feel coming out of the dream, especially in those cases. Especially for me, when I have those type of dreams, if there is an intense urgency to reach out to this person, right?
Mhm.
Or was there urgency for you to just sit and contemplate on what you felt, right? So adhering to what you immediately came out, because sometimes you come out, it's like I feel like I got to call and share it with them, and
It's
sometimes there's not an urgency to do that.
So that's the thing there. So when I come out of it, I have the urgency to do it, but then I stop myself because of knowing how past reactions have been.
There you go. Now you know the courage that you got to invoke under this full moon and take that with you to express those gifts and talents because ain't no telling what you might. And I'm going to tell you, I always, when I've done that, I've had to hit people up, be like, I'm just telling you, I just felt it. I just had to tell you. I don't know how it resonates with you, but hey, I had to plant the seed because I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to tell you one of the prime examples, and I had this, right? It was my little brother. I had a dream about him going through something. And I hit him up. I said, look, bro, I don't know what you got going on, but I want you to be mindful, be careful how you moving, this and that, this and that. I had a dream. I just felt the need to call you. Of course, he was like, bro, I don't be trying to scare me, this and that. You with that spiritual shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, but 2 weeks later, he got shot in the jaw. He survived. He lived. And it was just grazed him, and the bullet got lodged in his jaw. And I'm talking about some miraculous shit. This nigga got shot in the face in the jaw, my little brother. And he still right now got the fragment of the bullet. They waiting on his bone to heal before they can go in there and pull it out because they didn't want to break his jaw in the process and shit. So I'm just telling you. I felt better by saying it to him. I couldn't stop it from happening. I couldn't prevent it. He couldn't prevent it. But the moment he was like, bro, all I thought about, you told my ass, and he said that night, I started not to even go to that damn club. So hey, I did my job. So when you feel compelled, Lauren, do your job. Okay? That's for anybody in here. I make it simple when you deal with the spiritual aspects of getting messages and downloads and shit like that. If you feel compelled to speak, speak. If you feel compelled to shut the fuck up, just shut the fuck up.
Okay. I got to deal with my ego.
Leo.
All day. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, beloved.
Yes.
And I see you, Cosmic, say, what about Vertex and Leo at 29 degrees? And that's going to be a Leo degree. And you said in the 8th house with a Leo South Node. Oh, yeah, that's going to be letting go of any type of experiences around being critical or overly analytical about how you parent and how that can stop you about creativity and creating shit. The Vertex is always going to be about some type of life-changing experiences or a fated experience. So imagine you got to be mindful with the energy in the 8th house. Because Pluto, right? Mars. Imagine you been having all these thoughts saying, I can't be no parent. I'm tired of this shit. Blah, 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 blah. All the Pluto shit coming into play. And then you don't adhere to it. You don't honor it. And then the 8th house causes some type of fated transformation around the way you parent or the experiences with the matters of your heart or lovers going on here. Because automatically that's going to mean that Aquarius rules over your 2nd house. All right. So when you deal with that energy, it can be feeling like this shit is fucking with my coins, my individuality, instead of using it as a spark of creativity, using it as a way to transform your finances. Right? How can you write about these experiences? How can you use the psychological experiences that you've had around? So you got to flip that vertex, right? Otherwise, you might be looking at this shit as a way to be like, it's making me feel like a victim instead of transforming it to work on your behalf. And especially with the cult knowledge that you've gathered around helping people understand the matters of taking courage and the courage it takes to be a mother, right? You can definitely help out somebody. Watch this. I'm gonna tell you one of your first people you can help out right here. All right. And this is the beloved Shabata. Okay. I know you picked up on that. Right? So that energy of connecting with women and being a transformative force, that's that Sekhmet energy. So Sekhmet wants you to use her as a transformational skill, like even with the Basset energy, doing it with joy, doing it with dance, making it fun with that 8th house activity. Cause being a mother is not easy in this construct. The way society done fucked us up and demean, making it hard, a burden, and all this type of shit. Like being able to use your experiences and communicate and commune with other women who done went through issues with the pride and share resources and all this type of shit postpartum. Cause with you, postpartum could be fucking dragging the shit out of you mentally and emotionally. Like straight up with that vertex there. And cause it's like a lioness with a cub that it's like, damn, I wanted children, but now I got them. And I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Because it's like, you know, so making sure that you have a good support system and all that good shit, shared experiences, shared resources, being proud about what you want, knowing that you deserve the best, knowing that your baby deserves the best, knowing that you can give yourself the best. That can be something that your parents didn't do, right? So yeah, honoring that part for yourself, beloved. I hope that helps you out. Anybody else? Who was it?
Yeah, I just wanted to say gratitude, Sensei. I'm appreciative to be present tonight and to gain the downloads and the insight that you provided. And I feel like I resonated profoundly with everyone's expressions tonight. I was able to identify with a bit of what everyone is currently dealing with. And I feel like collectively, we're all being encouraged to dissolve the illusions and break free from all the attachments that no longer serves us. uh, in order to shed the layers and to move forward and embracing and embodying our true authentic nature. And I feel like, yeah, tonight kind of activated that flame within to, burn everything that no longer serves me and to move forward in alignment. So I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you and being in attendance, brother. I always give my brothers, man, because being able to heal and choose healing as a man, it can be very, very influential, as you can tell, because we like the sun. We are very influential to our children. I've told people when we don't heal, especially as men, we leave our demons to our firstborn children. You get what I'm saying? So for us to deal with this can be very influential to our bloodlines and our seeds, and those that come behind us. And because what we plant in that woman, she amplifies, you know. So we understand the power of infertile land and all this old type of shit. You get what I'm saying? So this is very powerful to experience, my brother. So just to hear you speaking that and to know how challenging it is for us as men to heal, and just to see some brothers in here tonight just to embrace this Leo energy and not even knowing that there's a femininity so connected to this goddamn Leo energy. And it's okay to be a nurturer. The single fathers and shit. A lot of men go through shit. I know a lot of brothers that's have been left, women been like, I can't do this no more. And think about how many women have to do it on their own because these men done check the fuck out. And a lot of time people think that it's only women that go through that. It's men that go through shit out here too when it comes to being a parent. And I honored this about my own father once I began to recognize what it meant to be a father. And I began to see just how dynamic and challenging it was and how it'll make you run away. When you're afraid not to come through, when you're afraid that you ain't gonna have it, that you can't provide. Shit, a man be like, why the fuck I'm gonna be there? I can't come through for y'all. Shit, every time, y'all, I can't provide, can't pay the bills, I can't do this, can't do that. And then in this society, the way it demeans us, it make it seem like our love ain't enough. Love don't pay the bills. It's like, damn. Now, damn, I might be just on my ass right now. That don't mean I ain't trying. I love my children. Don't deprive me of opportunity to be a father because I ain't together with you so-called what you think as a man or financially. So that prideful shit right there and the way we've been taught we can't cry, like all that type of shit, that shit can make us so disconnected and so desensitized. So I always like to commend my brothers for really embracing that. And it can be very influential on just our masculinity and our connection to our bodies overall. So gratitude to you, brother, once again. Anybody else? All right, y'all. Now you got the ritual. All right. And once again, I appreciate you all for your time, your energy, and all that good stuff. You all will all get the recording as well for you to be able to listen to. And what I'm going to do is put the recording on YouTube, but the only people that are able to get the book if they pay for it. And of course, the people that was gifted here tonight. So those of you who did pay for it, I don't want you to feel like you paid for some stuff that everybody ended up giving away for free, but somebody getting for free. But I appreciate the people that did pay. I appreciate the people that did have the courage to speak up and say what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? There should be a PDF attached to your email. It'll show the PDF that I went through tonight. So you can have that PDF, download it, save it to your phone. All right, that is my gift to you. It is a guide for you to understand as a marker for where you were right now. All right, those journal prompts can be very influential to taking you into the new moon. All right, so utilize those journal prompts, utilize the energy of this full moon, let it take you and compel you, ride this wave, all right, and take center stage, use your creativity, use your power, walk into it. All right. So
Yo,
once again,
sincere.
what's up?
Just want to
What's up,
say,
Akeem?
I want to say thank you, brother. I really appreciate this, man. I appreciate you, bro. You did that.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna get together
Appreciate you,
too.
brother.
Yes, sir, man. Peace to everyone too, man. Peace.
Man, appreciate you, man. I appreciate the brothers coming through tonight, man. Big Leo energy, man. King energy in the building, man. Salute to the kings, man. Peace to the guys, for sure, man. Cause it's letting our women know that they not alone. So women, y'all can definitely tell people that, hey, I was on a call tonight and y'all telling my brothers ain't doing the work. Say, they showing up. You understand me? Like, Brother showing up say, hey, bro, I want to learn. I want to know what the hell going on, bro. Help me out. Give me some enlightenment. I don't know nothing about this birth chart shit, but goddamn it, I'm willing to learn. Say, man, I salute that all day. Cause you don't know how many brothers I deal with that run from this shit, bro. You hear what I'm saying? Like, they be like, this nigga crazy. He want my girl. He just trying to fuck hoes. I'm gonna tell you, man, I done heard it all. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
I'll be real with you, bro. So I'm very honest and authentic, man, as y'all can tell, but I don't hold nothing back. So I love to see my brother showing up, showing out. So gratitude to y'all once again. And gratitude to you all for showing up, showing out. And if there's anything anybody want to share before we get up out of here, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to do so right now.
Hey, Sensei.
Hey, J Lo.
I was trying to stay quiet.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I think her name was Michelle when she spoke before, saying that her cutoff date was the 31st, which is the Ace of Clubs. I mean, the Ace of Clubs, and it's a semi-fixed card. Those who don't know about the cards, I would definitely recommend the webinar that Sensei and Salita did. It is amazing. You will learn so much from it. But I have to bring this up because this year we have the Ace of Clubs showing up 3 times for the Mercury retrogrades. So it gives you the post shadow on August 25th. Then that's the post shadow to the ending of that Mercury retrograde, the second one. Then the last Mercury retrograde, it starts the pre-shadow on the Ace of Clubs, October 21st, and it ends on the Ace of Clubs, December 17th. So it's definitely, and there I noticed there's like a lot of cards from the Ace of Clubs spread here because March 1st is the 9 of Spade, which happens to be the moon card to that Ace of Clubs. We have the Ace of Spade, which is the day that I actually decided to dive into. I don't know why I was digging into Mercury retrograde, but I guess I know now it was for this. So the retrograde ends and the post shadow begins on April 7th, which is the Ace of Spade. Now, if we look at the collective, which is plate 68, there's 3 aces there. There's definitely beginnings and endings, as you said, right? Letting go of what has to be gone and starting so much new. I mean, I don't know if Salita could just give them like a little whiff of what the Ace of Clubs and being semi-fixed and what it would mean. But I know the Ace of Spade is crowned by the 5 of Diamonds, which we know, Miss Diamond always says, it's the black man. It's that freedom that's needed, right? So us coming together now and them showing up would definitely mean like, I'm here to stand up and show my face. So this is what it is. This is how it's going to go down. And it is what it is. And as you said, no one can stop it. So I would definitely say dig into the course that Sensei and Salita did. It is amazing. Even learning your basic chart of the cards is going to help so much in just aligning the energy that is coming with these retrogrades. It's going to drag you back and forth, just like that semi-fixed card. But in the end, that Ace of Clubs turns into the 2 of Hearts, right? And to me, that is your self-love, that unity of the feminine and the masculine inside of you, creating what you need in your life, parenting yourself, letting go of what doesn't need to be in your life anymore so you can move forward. So this is definitely big changes. So I'm not trying to get dragged. That's why I had to speak.
Oh, it was me that spoke, J-Lo, and Ace of Clubs is my Saturn card. You just connected so many dots for me. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yo, I ain't heard
You're
Danielle
welcome.
voice in forever. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you see Danielle in the building.
Yeah. Peace, Danielle.
Say, I know I've been hiding, but I'm coming out. I don't feel like getting dragged.
Yeah, J-Lo's tripped out with that one right there. I ain't feel like getting dragged, so I said something. I felt compelled to speak, so I spoke. God damn it, you better use that throat chakra. Shit. You hear me? So now gratitude for that, J-Lo, because as you can tell, that was enlightening for a lot of people. Now I heard you ask Salita, did she want to speak on that? Salita, did you want to speak on that real quick?
I mean, sure. I just think like the summer fixed energy that JLo was speaking to is just kind of something that we're going to be dealing with overall this year. Not just like with that retrograde energy, because it's a 9 of Hearts year. 9 of Hearts is also a semi-fixed card. I think it's one of the reasons why the Eagles won a Super Bowl too, because they're the 7 of Diamonds, and that's their karma card, right? But just like how JLo was saying, like you're gonna be going back and forth. You're gonna feel like that energy of the focus being like more maybe on mental capacity, mindset, thought processes, communication, to then like leading maybe more with your feelings and how you're connecting with others. It's going to go back and forth between that during the retrograde season, especially. But the year overall is kind of going to be like this, like what work are you doing now and how are you going to reward yourself with it later. And as I think you were speaking to like how it's a full moon, it's going to like kind of show you the way and the things that you need to like be focusing on or things that you need to be letting go of. And so that when you get to the new moon, like, okay, I get to start something new. This is like what wasn't working. That's what I learned, how to let go of those things. But it's like more of over the entire year, all the work that we're doing now, we're gonna see like the benefits of it at the end of the year. I think you mentioned too, like the stuff that we're doing now, we're gonna see right before harvest season. And that's exactly like when the United States, the birthday is July 4th. After that, then like harvest season comes. So everything that we're doing now, you're not gonna really see any remnants of it until after the United States birthday, until maybe like the end of August or even in harvest month, like September, which is a King of Diamonds month. Today is a King of Diamonds day, so it's really, really pivotal and critical for that time if you really want to like see your harvest then.
Gratitude for that, Salita. So y'all see the correlations, and it's a lot of literally what J-Lo said that Salita and
Wait,
I went over.
Sensei, wait, this has to come up.
Go.
It's a 7 of Hearts week.
Yes, it
The
is.
King of Diamonds is the Pluto card. So what is here? The man showing up, that King of Diamonds, polishing it up. Just had to bring that there.
And the
Nah,
7 of Hearts week started today. I know some people said it started the other day, but if you calculate it, it starts today during this full moon with the King of Diamonds and Pluto. So you got access to all the resources with this energy today.
man, and now y'all got a blueprint on how you can utilize your energy under this full moon to tap into the natural resources that you got inside of your own talents and wisdom. Utilize it, because it's about being resourceful. Sometimes you might not have all the outside things to make it happen, but you got your divine will, you got vision, you got purpose, and you got drive. God damn it, you can make a lot of shit happen with that. And now I'm gonna ask a question before we get out of here, and I want y'all to sit with that. Anybody else got anything to share before we leave up out of here? Okay. Now there's a question I like to ask. Anybody that's gotten a reading from me know I normally ask this question. It's a $30 million question. I heard Grant Cardone ask this question, and I put my own flip to it, of course, right? Gemini shit, right? So I gathered this from Grant Cardone, and it was a $30 million question. And he asked these people a couple, and I use this for an individual. I want you to ask yourself right now, if you had $30 million when you woke up tomorrow, all right, and everything, everybody that you can think of is taken care of, they well off. You ain't got to spend your $30 million on nobody and nothing but what you want to do. Your children taken care of, your mama, whoever's sick, you ain't got to worry about nobody. Everybody good. You ain't got to create nothing for humanity. Like literally, it's just about you, what you want to do. Okay. Now I want you to ask yourself, what would you do with that $30 million? Okay. Now, if anybody just want to do a little guinea pig test right now, we can do it, right? So what would you do with that $30 million? If anybody got any quick answers or whatever, you can come off your mic. If not, you can sit with this, okay? Now,
Travel the world.
travel the world, Danielle.
Yeah, travel the world at the sacred
Yeah,
Okay.
centers.
I was gonna say the same thing. Travel the
So,
world.
somebody else said travel the world. Who was that?
That's me. Or
Or hey, or
hey,
Find a
now
way to be of service to humanity.
did it.
you still want to serve humanity, right? Okay, I got you. All right. Now, I asked this question. When you think about it that way, who was that? Somebody divine ink? Somebody finna come out? Somebody else want to say something? Now, when you think about it that way, was you finna say something? Go ahead.
Oh no, everybody said it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just gonna split it, 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil.
On what?
Well, 10 mil goes towards investments to multiply it. The
Okay.
10 mil goes into real estate throughout the world.
Ooh.
And then the other 10 mil I get to play with.
Okay.
Ooh, okay,
Got a
I like
plan.
hers.
Yeah, she's methodical. There's some Capricorn shit going on there. You heard me? I'm gonna just tell y'all that. Okay. Now, when you dealing with that energy, the next question I would ask is, now let's just say everything is taken care of and that $30 million is still going to be available. But the only catch is if you choose not to wake up. So do you want the $30 million and everything to be taken care of, or do you choose to wake up?
What do you mean by wake up?
Like have awareness of yourself?
No. If you choose this time, I'm saying if you choose the $30 million, you don't get to wake up to experience it. Everything taken
Oh, I'll
care of.
pass.
Everything.
I'll pass.
that was
Negative.
quick. That was quick.
Hey, I'm good.
Okay. You know what that proves? That your life is more important than money. So what's stopping you from creating the shit you want to create? See, when you take away the thought of lack, when you take away the thought that you actually need something to prove that you are a life, no amount of money can ever make you say you wouldn't give up the fact that you can wake up and create. You see what I'm saying? Your life is more valuable than $30 million. And it's more
That is
valuable than
deep.
everybody else being taken care of. So what is holding you back from doing all the shit that I said that you can do with the $30 million? I know you ain't got the 30 million, but you still got the idea. You still got the innovation. You still got the drive. You still got the energy. All I did with the $30 million was take away everybody else's shit. That's all I did. The whole instance of the 30 million, it took away all the things that your mind could possibly even want to think about, and all you focus on is what you want to do. It's always you versus you. It's it, Mike. It's never nobody else's shit stopping you. It's your connection to it that's stopping you. So ask yourself tonight, what is it on your heart that you really want to do? I guarantee you that things are not as bad off and as fucked up as you think they are, that is stopping you from doing the shit that your heart desires. I guarantee it. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
All right. And I'm gonna tell you, it's something that I ask myself every day. What was you gonna say, Empress?
Oh, I didn't say nothing. I was doing snap, 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 snap.
I read it. But just embrace that for yourselves, all right? And one of the main things is letting go of the fact that one day, or accepting the fact that one day you ain't gonna be here. Once you know that you are alive and death is promised to all of us and you can't escape it, the only thing you got left to do is live. So live your life, express the matters of your heart, beautiful souls. Know that you deserve everything your fucking heart desires. Okay? So gratitude to you all. Now, if anybody else don't have any questions or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna let y'all go for the night. That way you can get some journaling done and all that good stuff. All right. So appreciate you all once again for your time, your energy, and appreciate you all for your adage and your openness and your expressions. Like for real, for real. So take this energy with you, take the clarity with you, and may the force be with you. Peace and love, beautiful souls. Namaste.
And also,
Peace and love.
Who was that?
I said, may the force be with you. And
Thank you.
Gratitude, everyone.
Appreciate y'all.